Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Make sure this is your morning reminder to take your morning medications. Good morning, James. Good morning, Tracy's World. Good morning, Room Shaker. Good morning, Red Wings. How y'all doing this beautiful morning? I also want to say good morning to all the cloud watchers who cannot drop down because they're busy at work, but they still here giving me a click and a view and supporting me. I want to say thank you. Thank you to all the replay watchers that's going to catch this on the replay because there is a lot of drama going down today on these streets so far. If you ain't know, I'm going to let you know. So, the Corio and Rodney beef is still going, Miss Corio. Miss Corio, I don't think Miss Corio really cares, to tell you the truth. Um, but he was on his live the other day explaining, that he wasn't mad at the hood table, but at the same time, the hood table should have basically said something, but he ain't really mad at her. But he is mad at K Fit because, she inserted herself or something. I don't really know. And then he stated that he was talking about Miss Corio, and he was talking about how she talked, and saying, she had the big C word, right? And I don't wish that on no one. Hey, Demiso, um, if you have ever been around Corio long enough, she has said it multiple times on lives, in chats, everywhere of why she talks the way she talks. Miss Corio had surgery and they nicked her vocal box, and that's why she talks the way she talks. Like, she said this multiple times. You heard he was unemployed, Demiso? Well, I'm gonna say this. I mean, if I had a job. Oh, you have a challenge announcement? Okay, Demiso, I'll make sure when I drop the link that you can get up here. Now, I will say that Diva went live yesterday, and she said that Rose, Honest Rose, she was talking to Honest Rose and the Brian situation and Mother situation. She said Rose sounded like a serial killer, a serial, iller. Uh, uh, Rose said that Mother was a liar. Rose don't care about your opinion. Rose said he ain't slow. He lead 9 to 10 people. Rose said Mother don't work. Rose said Mother, uh, a spill it, a F boy. Rose said he hopes that a heel fall off and clean your face and untuck the mad. Million is prettier and you not spill it boy. Talking about how he was a boy. That's what, he was saying. Okay. And then he said he looked like a wrinkled ET. Now that part made me laugh. Now I know Mother was probably in the clouds laughing himself because, here's the thing. I'm the same way. If I'm in the clouds and you read me for filth and you say something funny, I'm gonna laugh. Even at my own read, I'm gonna laugh, right? But they did talk yesterday on passes, which D Miss O was over there, right? And I will say that in my opinion, this is opinions because opinions are like a-holes. Everybody got one. It sounded like Brian, and I like Mr. Brian, but it sounded like Mr. Brian set more Ro up because Ro was like, "Who calling me names?" Right? He was ready over there, ready to woo bang. Right? He was ready. He was ready. He was like, "Tag in, tag in," and I don't think Ro. It might be not saying that Ro ain't a grown man and can't make his own decisions because he can. I'm just saying that I don't think he knew what he was walking into. That's what Mother said, and I kind of agree with that. That he didn't know what he was walking into. He's like, I wouldn't call my friend to come to a spot when I knew they fixing to get jumped on. Right? I ain't doing all that. I ain't doing all that. Now, they when I was over there at Rodney's and stuff, they was talking about. Oh no, it wasn't Rodney's. That was Miss Zentel's, I believe. Y'all believe that Just Krista said that she don't have no periods, but she can still get in the family way, so she gonna take birth control. I said, no, baby, don't do that. Don't do that. You already have low estrogen when your cycle stops. You don't drop eggs no more. You ain't getting pregnant. All right. Now, somebody else in the chat was saying that your eggs are infertile at the point or something. No, technically your eggs are still in what you have left, are still in your ovaries, right? But if you're not having a cycle, you're not dropping an egg for it to get fertilized. Okay, I have a best friend who's in her she's had it since she was in her 20s and teens, who is infertile because of a medical condition, right? She doesn't have periods. When you don't have periods, you're not dropping an egg. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, I see why you down 2 clients, Demus. So, but basically, she was telling people that coleslaw is good for you, like a spoonful of coleslaw. Do you know what coleslaw is made out of? Just Chris. Now, the cabbage is good for you. But have you ever seen what Southern folk put in their coleslaw and how much sugar content sometimes is in coleslaw? Okay, and the fact that it's made with mayonnaise and mustard and all this other stuff, and no, we ain't putting no damn raisins in my damn in my potato salad or coleslaw or none of that. I ain't one of them white folk. But coleslaw is made with mayonnaise, right? Some people put sugar, some people put a little teaspoon of salt, and they use vinegar, right? To thin out the mayo a little bit, right? I've even seen up north put celery seed in it. Now down south we do not put celery seed in our coleslaw. Now something my mama puts in her coleslaw, and they accidentally did it one day and loved it. They put those little cherry tomatoes. They slice up tomatoes and put them. It's something about the acidity of tomatoes that goes good with the coleslaw. But that's the thing that they did. But coleslaw's not the one that's good for you. I think she was thinking technically like chow chow or something like that. Maybe steamed. Cabbage itself is actually really good. Yeah, don't put no raisins in my shit. Now, see, that's the white bread news you can use right there. Don't put no raisins in no potato salad or nothing else. No. You make it the Southern way, okay? No, ma'am, no, sir. But, and then, if y'all didn't see it, in the chat, Lady Snoop, she was telling that she requested her $10,909, and that Krista needs to put back on her request so that she could get her money back. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and drop this link because I know that Demon Soul wanted to talk about her thing. I got some more stuff up here that I'm gonna talk about, and Demon Soul, if you want to stay here while we talk about it, because my next topic was what happened on the Passes Live, because this is what I wrote down. Some people in the chat was saying that James was bullying folk, and James said, how can you bully someone who came for you? And then Treasure said, Ro left his shack and came to Pass's house to get me. Explain that. And if Brian was really apologetic, then he would have asked Ro for forgiveness, then encouraged him to think it over a day or two. Because there was time out. Basically, when he asked Ro for forgiveness on his panel, it was like he forced it kind of situation too fast. Didn't give him a chance to think about it. And, they was talking about all that. Oh, it's okay. That gives me a little time to go over these notes. Brian didn't follow the doctor's orders. That's when Pastor knew. Hey, the hood table, love. That's when the pastor knew that Brian wasn't going to listen to nobody else because he didn't even follow the doctor's orders. Now, I will say that, in my opinion, I think they would make a really good panel all together because they all just a little bit messy, but at the same time bring some intelligence to it too. Mother said, you can't tell me you was leading 9 people and couldn't see what you was walking into. Brian had he had been threatened by Brian with Ro. Mother said to Brian to call his hoe, and Ro came over. That's what it was. The chat said Brian said Ro was on the phone with Shakim. Now, that's what the chat said. The chat was talking about that. Now, I don't know how true that is or how I am not alleged or confirming that, but that's what the chat was saying. They was saying that Brian said that Ro was on the phone with Shakim and was about to hit the panel child. You know, and that then I heard that, you know, when Jay Wilson and Brian was fighting and everybody was fighting and everybody was going in and at it, and I was like, whoa, Lord, sweet baby Jesus. It got good messy over there on passes yesterday, if y'all ain't watched it. On Pastor Jay Wilson, it got good and messy. It really did. Now, I will say this right now. I went over there and watched Lemons too. Y'all know Rodney got his mod. Well, here's the thing. Okay. When this way this whole thing started, so y'all can understand the Lemon and Rodney beef. Okay. Rodney was in chat. Some people was talking crap to him. Rodney wanted to block them. Anybody knows that over there at Lemons, it's an equal opportunity platform. Now, I get read to filth over there. Some of the mods get read to filth. But you know, somebody tried to buy Rodney off the panel, and Lemon said, "No, I respect my moderators more than that." And then he came back the next day and said, "Take my mod stick, take my mod stick," because he wasn't able to block people. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to say this. I've said this before. When you're a moderator, it is not up to you what you can do. I have been in some chats where I've moderated where I'm not allowed to touch anybody. And guess what? They be in that chat lighting me the heck up. But do you think I held that against the content creator? No. No, I did not. Because it's their channel, they can choose to do with what they choose to do with, right? Now, say this. I wouldn't allow somebody to come in here and light up one of my moderators because they take time out of their day to help me, right? They take time out of their day to help me. I ain't going to allow nobody to do that. You ain't walking up in here thinking you're going to talk crap to one of them and they ain't going to use their mod stick. But those are me, right? So every content creator has different rules. Some content creators trust their mods enough to know discernment, so they let their mods just handle the chat. Some will tell their mods, hey, don't be blocking nobody. You know what I'm saying? Some say put them in timeout. Now, I'm just giving you friendly advice here, Rodney. Basically, when you're a moderator, you can't use your personal feelings to moderate. The only way that you can, if it's personal, is if the person is doxing you in chat, because then that will hurt the content creator. If people are literally doing that in chat and stuff. Now, you're supposed to do that, right? Because that's not cool. That is something that can bother the channel holder, right? That's different. That's breaking guidelines. Even if it's you or anybody else in that chat, right? But you have to do whatever the content creator says, right? And then, you know, Lemon said he gave Rodney nothing but good advice. You know, but then, you know, Rodney, where he made Lemon upset was when he was trying to convince JC and he did those lives, you know, and then said to take his mod stick. And I don't think he saw yet that Rodney has a live going right now with Lemon's name in the title. I haven't got to see his full live. Obviously, he went live right before I did. So I'll have to catch that later and tell y'all an update on this situation. Now, I will say that Diva Tomboyish and Lemon got into it yesterday afternoon. Diva asked who's going to stand with Lemon. Lemon said that this is big beef sector and that Diva ain't beef sector. Now, that's what went on yesterday. Now, I don't know necessarily where that beef came from. I believe that Diva had been trolling with him, and at first he just let it go. And then something, when she came up to say something, set it all off. I believe that it just rubbed him the wrong way. I may be wrong, but if Diva, if you're in here, you can let me know. Are you actually mad at Lemon, or are you just playing with him? Because I know sometimes with you, you like to play with certain folks, and certain folks is up and stuck. You know, I don't know which one it is on this one. If y'all know anything about Diva, some people she'll play around with, she'll roast and gag them a little bit, but then she'll move on to the next topic, right? But there's some of them that it's always up and stuck for life. Hey, TG Beautiful. Hey, Lisa J, Foxy Brown. I'm going to go ahead and I forgot to do this a while ago, y'all. I was steadily talking, so I have this in here and have it pinned. And I'm gonna say this: Louisiana Red, you need to put a name on it. You said you coming after somebody from Mississippi. I'm from Mississippi. I know a lot of folks in this sector from Mississippi. You didn't say if they were still living in Mississippi. You just said they from Mississippi. Well, that could be a lot of us if you don't know. There's quite a few of us that are Mississippi strong, baby. You gonna have to put a name on it. You can't say you just coming after everybody in Mississippi. Do you know how many people that is in this sector? Okay, we got myself, we got VS, we got QI, we got Jay Dunn. You know what I'm saying? We got a crap ton of the subscribers. So you gonna need to put a name on it, Miss Louisiana Red. You can't be hitting around the bush, and stop taking down your videos. I hate to tell you something, but if somebody screen records those videos, it don't matter if you take them down or not. And guess what? YouTube can reinstate anything they choose to. Okay? I'm giving you some friendly advice. Put a name on it. Because what's going to end up happening is that somebody's going to think it's for them, right? And you aiming at the wrong person, and you just got 5011. See, Miss Tracy's well from Mississippi. What? There's a lot of us. Put a name to it. And I'm gonna say this. You need to stop listening to whoever you talking to behind the scenes, because baby, they leading you wrong. They leading you wrong. They leading you down the wrong path. Now, what you and Miss Dovey got going on, that's one thing, but they leading you down the wrong path, child. I'm just saying. Y'all know I don't. But I do love me some Diva. Y'all know I love some Diva Tomboyish, and I love some Lemon. So I'm like Bennett, and I ain't in it. I ain't getting in between that one, because I like both of them. I respect both of them. It's like, you see two people you like, and you don't want to get in the middle of their fight. That's the way I feel about that one. I like both of them. But I will say that Miss Diva, I don't know if she's gonna play with Lemon today or who she gonna play with, because you know how she is. She likes to play with people sometimes. I was trying to put up one of my guest banners, just a random one, so I'd have it up there in case somebody hit the link. She'll jump out on that porch, and then there's a possibility that Lemon gonna jump out on that porch. So we're gonna have to see how this one plays out, because I don't know how rough this one's gonna get. I will say that who was the other one that I was seeing? There was something else. I'm trying to remember now, y'all. I'm trying to remember. Okay, I gotta scroll. Oh yeah, Louisiana Red said something about her man was FBI or something, her ex. But then somebody in the chat corrected and said he ex-military. Okay, and then Miss Just Read My Book said she would contact her lawyer about the slander from Louisiana Hot Sauce, and told everyone that what all was said and all that stuff. Now y'all know she called her ex a crackhead. So how he gonna be a crackhead and be a part of the FBI at the same damn time? Even if he was ex, like, I don't see an ex FBI agent running around here doing crack. I don't know. I don't see that being a thing. Now, I have seen some soldiers come home from the wars and do some things, right? Like, trying to self-medicate and stuff like that. And it breaks my heart to see our veterans go through what they go through, right? And the mental health issues that they come home with, and the physical problems they come home with. And they was over there just trying to do their best by us, right? They was doing for our country, right? Because I have nothing but respect for our veterans. I'm gonna tell you something. They did something that some of the rest of us can't do. So, I respect the veterans. But now I ain't never seen an FBI agent that turned into a crackhead, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is one in history somewhere and I just didn't see it. Because most people who get that far up into that kind of situation, they usually like then now some of them I've seen them snapping and hurt folk because they crazy. You get what I mean? Like I've seen some of them be on the next episode of Snapped or be on that show that they murdered their whole family. You know what I'm saying? Because they so tightwad and all that other stuff that they end up going cray, right? But I ain't never seen one that was a full fledged crackhead. Maybe I'm wrong. Now I've seen some ex football stars. I've seen some ex basketball stars. I've seen some ex cops. Stuff like that. But once you get that far into it, most of those people are the ones that are like steroid users. If anything, an FBI agent probably would be a steroid user or something like that. Or like they'd be doing like maybe not crack, but maybe cocaine. Because I'm not saying they won't, but they wouldn't be doing drugs. You know what I mean? I think there's different levels. You know, like Whitney said, crack is whack. She got too much money. I love Whitney now. Rest in peace, Whitney. Like she one of my favorite, but that is still one of my favorite lines. When she said that, it was hilarious to me. But I love her. But let's go ahead. We got a guest shout. I think I'm gonna make sure because if it's authenticated, then I know who it. Yeah, it's authenticated. I ain't gotta add no better. Hey, Demas.
Hey, what's going on, Charlie?
I was talking about the Rodney situation and the pastor and mother and all that situation this morning.
Child,
That's
it's a whole lot. But I was saying, yeah, Rodney was unemployed because of the mod stick, not because of his real job.
oh, he
But
got employed. Yeah, he
yeah,
got
I'm
fired
sure
on his
he
day off.
depressed, child. I'm sure Rodney over there, he don't know how he gonna carry him. The competition though it's in its early stages, but I just want to get everybody excited. Me and Honest Roll gonna do a joint competition on one of our channels, probably on this Rolls because I don't really care. So probably be on Honest Rolls. We'll see what he want to do. Or I might just use it to springboard, whatever. But I think we'll do it on this Rolls. It's gonna be since now on this roll is his new title is that he's a whore because Brian said that he's a whore, so he's embracing the whore title. He said once upon a time, not long ago, he was a hoe, and he admitted it. So I thought, what better way? We're gonna play with the narrative, and I'm gonna finally do the cocktails challenge, but with a twist. So we think we in the early stages. So it's gonna be a joint competition with Honest Row and the Miss O. So stay tuned. Any suggestions, you can leave them on my backup community wall or at Honest Rose, either one of his channels. So just looking forward to the whole stories. Get all your whole stories and your best cocktail recipes together, and we'll announce the date as it's developed.
That's gonna be a good one.
Yep, it's gonna be a joint competition. So it's gonna be me on this row, and we gonna have I don't know how we're probably gonna do it just a chat vote. I don't know if we necessarily gonna have judges. We'll see. And then but we'll go from there. I gotta talk to Ro, but we just decided this morning when he did his live, since he's deciding to embrace his whole chronicles. So he's gonna start telling us more whole chronicles leading up to the competition.
I love a good host story.
Oh, me too. I told Brian, I said, Brian, don't do Donnie's bro like that. Hoes need love too. Don't do him like that. Child, they was over there cutting up yesterday. I had to finally get down because I ain't got the stamina to compete with. Honest Row when he in his skit mood, Brian when he on one, Pastor when he hype, and Mother when he trying to get that was just overwhelming. I had to go to sleep. Like when I tell you, and bro off script, so I'm quiet. He up there telling me one thing. Mother come up there. Then Miss O, are you confused again? Cause he be leaving parts out when he tell you his story and his side stories. He don't be telling you the truth. So I heard what really happened. I heard about Brian kind of, calling him the preemptive phone call, which I didn't know about. So this is why I told Honest Bro, him and just Crystal be leaving parts out. They be going off script, and then now what I'm supposed to do? I can't repair stuff when I don't know all the details, child. So anyway, that's him and Brian. They got their own relationship. I think Mother was frustrated because no, and James, no, more so Pastor was frustrated because she feels like Ro don't put boundaries or do this expect the same thing from Brian that he get mad at them about. So that's where Pastor I think is coming from. He feels like he don't put Brian in his place and he don't pay attention to the setup stuff. But honest Ro feels like I understand Brian. That's my friend. We have an understanding, but it's different with y'all. So I don't know how that's gonna work out, child.
I don't know, but I'm gonna say that it looked from a outsider's perspective, right? Like Brian set up, bro.
Yeah, I can see how they saying because they said that he came in hot, but Rose said, but Rose, so this is where Rose don't be helped. This is where Brian got frustrated. I knew why Brian was gonna click the link. Before Brian clicked the link, the actual point where I know if I'm thinking like Brian, I said, "Oh Lord, this about to go wild." Brian about to click this link because here we go. Because when Rose started talking about how the sauce is made too much and the other conversations, but this is a frustration shock him had too, and then they kind of start disagreeing on those details. And Ro don't. He felt like probably Ro didn't come in and say no, that ain't. I did see Brian did call me, but I missed his call. And Rose said that he just organically came over there. I think that's the part they had a problem with. They were like, "No, you telling me you didn't know anything?" But I mean, just to play devil's advocate, if you see you missed a call from Brian while you were asleep, now you get sub, and you probably think it got something to do with YouTube, since Bro did say, Brian talks about YouTube a lot. So if you look and see me, Pastor, Brian in the chat, and Mother over there, you automatically know, okay, that might be what Brian might have had something to say about. So of course you're gonna come in on hype. Now the part I think they have a problem believing is that they think maybe they have a little bit of conversation, maybe a text or something to the nature of it. But I can kind of see him missing the call and then looking and saying, "Oh Lord, what Brian over there doing? What they over there doing? What Pastor talking about? There go give me so." But see, I hadn't said nothing to Ro then because I wasn't up there. I was in the chat, I think, the day before. So I had missed how all that happened. I got sleepy or whatever. So I hadn't called him. So Brian was the only one who called him and he seen all them people. So I can hear C Ro probably listening for a little bit and coming in hot because of his past issues. Brian, if the phone call would have connected, that's the difference. If Brian would have said, then I can see. But I don't know. I think Brian feeling this way because he said he didn't actually talk to Ro and Ro came in hot on his own. But I don't know. It's just a lot, child.
It does seem like a lot. I'm like, woo, they do make a good panel together.
They like arguing, and I don't care what nobody say. I told Ro that on the phone. You love this shit, especially when you a mother fuss. You and Pastor a little bit, cause you kind of like Pastor a little differently, and I think he kind of don't get as mad as Pastor. But for some reason, him and when the mother have a, that's when Ro get off script. He hold his own. Like most people won't even like argue with him, if they with mother. But Ro gets into these characters and he goes. But yesterday I think he kind of got himself, and then mother had to go live or whatever. But I think mother feels like Brian gets Ro into these. But I'm a witness that Ro got a mind of his own. We can't blame Brian on everything. And I think sometimes Ro just be wanting to have fun and like get in the stick. So I step back because he obviously loving it. And when I called him yesterday, and he had me cracking up laughing, and this is the stuff he was saying off the live. And I'm telling you, Ro is funny as hell. Like I was cracking my ass up. I couldn't even chastise Ro properly because when he be in his characters, child, ain't no bringing him back.
He was on one yesterday. He really
Yeah, he was.
was.
Yeah, he was. He was mad too yesterday. Really, when I talked, because remember that morning he went live. He was like, "Check on Ro," when I was at YTC, and when I talked to Ro was pissed off from that live before. So he got his own plan, and I'm just here to watch it.
That's the way I feel about it too. I'm just a watcher. I'm just watching everything and report what I see. But I even I shared it on my community while I was like, oh Lord, bro's over here going off this morning.
hmm Child TG Ro been on the phone since before I met him. So I'm not his first phone experience. I think we good, child. I know how to handle it, and he do. We be laughing. It don't even be really getting to nothing like, ooh, let me talk about this behind the scene. It just be funny. Ro's just funny as hell, child. He can have you entertained for like an hour, and you don't even be talking about nothing.
Yeah, he does seem like that person. Like
He is.
it's
He cheers. He a good cheer up like a person or whatever. Like if you in the mood, you ain't finna be in the mood long after you talk to this road child. Cause he'll just have you laughing and forget why I called to chastise him. And he had me laughing. Like, honey, He is funny. That's why I told him to do his little scripts and all of that and stay out the line of real fire.
Yeah, because when he does his little skits and stuff, it's hilarious. Like just him being himself. Like he's got that comedic personality.
He not caught up in the mess because of no phone, TG. Child. He caught up in the mess with the stuff on camera. Lord. And he didn't even talk to Brian. Brian said he called him, but they both say that he missed the call because he was asleep and then he looked up. So I'm not sure. I wasn't there for that first live, but nah, child, he gonna do him and the cycle gonna continue. What
Yep.
happened with that? I seen you was playing that case because Jay Dunn had asked me had I heard about it, and I did hear about the landfill because I thought it was an infant at first, and then I seen it was a toddler, which don't make a difference. But I was using that as a say it was plenty of safe places that she could have dropped them because of that law that no questions asked. But at the same time, even if it's a toddler, the worst you're gonna get is a CPS abandonment charge, which is not criminal. It's in juvenile court, and then they'll make you pay child support eventually just like a deadbeat dad. So it's still not no criminal things that would happen to you if you surrendered your child to the state. There's never a reason to put no child in no landfill. It's too many. It's too many resources.
Well, she got 3 different kids by 3 different baby daddies. She was with the new baby daddy and had an infant. She had an older child that she had basically been through everything with, right? And Quentin was the middle child.
Okay.
And she was having some mental issues with the third baby daddy.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Talking about she was going to unalive herself and all this. And then
Oh
this,
man.
yeah, and then this baby wound up in the landfill. And they found like, it looked like blood, throw up blood in his crib, in his little, he had a pack and play that he was sleeping in. Like a
Mm-mm.
little crib and whatnot, and on his pillow, that's what they found. And
So she probably did something to him before he got to Renfield.
they don't really have right now. They're not released. Like obviously because they found him in pieces, right? They don't
Did she
have
not
like.
even? She didn't even get the mess up out the bed.
It was still there.
Damn.
It was 2 days. See, a lot of people don't know this case is 2 years old, but it was 2 days after they found him that the same day when they called, she didn't even, when she called to report him missing or whatever, or they noticed he was gone or whatnot. And there was other people living in that house too. Like her mama, her daddy was or stepdaddy was living in that house. She had a brother that was living in that house. They were all in different areas of the house. So the way the houses broke up, it was like she almost had her own mini apartment in the house.
Mm-mm-mm. So what was her reasoning?
The only thing that the prosecution has showed right quick that would be a reasoning was that she was going through some kind of mental issue and took it out on the kid.
But she didn't do nothing to the other kids. So it's a situation where I don't like your daddy the least.
I'm guessing that's what it is because the oldest
I've
child.
had plenty of cases like that where the treatment of the child is dependent on the relationship between the daddy.
Let me type in her name again so I can say it correctly for the peoples. What is her name? Lady who?
Hey Tracy.
Because I remember his name. His name is Quentin. I gotta remember her name. She's on. She's in Georgia, so it's a lady.
TG, I know you and your sister gonna be in our competition. It's gonna be cocktails and whole stories. Now, something tells me you and your sister might have a few little tricks up y'all sleeve.
Her name is Lillian Simon, and Court TV. They were on day 2 yesterday, so today will be day 3 of the case.
That bitch deserves to be there beaten to the throw up and blood being her cell cover. The fuck, she need to be done the same way she did that baby. We trying to work on the date, TG. I'm thinking maybe because they got these Halloween competitions, so we probably gonna try to get in before that. I'm gonna talk to Ro, but I want to get in before that, which don't give us a lot of time. But like something, I don't want to beat y'all. Either we'll go in the week after that one or the week before, which would be next week. So I gotta talk to Ro.
Well, I know that it's not this weekend, it's next weekend is when Lady Nika's having her competition.
Right.
Lolo's having hers, and then we have Miss oh god, Miss Jill's Comfort Zone's doing her poetry contest. That's like the weekend of the 25th, 26th.
Right, so we'll probably come in right there, cause I know Pizarro and them doing the Family Feud on the 3rd. So me and Ro, it's seeming like we probably do that first or that second, right after Halloween.
That's when it probably be best. I'd say the
Yeah,
first or second, yeah.
yeah, somewhere in there. So we'll let y'all know. Most likely for me, it'll be easier to do it on a Saturday as opposed to a Friday. But yeah, so let's bookmark the first or the second, cause we gotta go with Ro work schedule too. But yeah, low key, we ain't gonna do no whole lot. The pot ain't gonna be crazy. I mean, whatever we get is what y'all get. But it'll be just something fun. Probably winner takes all, because it depends on how many contestants we got. Because I'm thinking a nice, comfortable constitution. I don't want no more than 4 to 6. That's plenty for me. So
Yeah, and then
four.
Miss Tracy World's doing that her pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie challenge on November the 10th.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, Tracy.
Sure.
Pie challenge. But yeah, that woman, that's crazy. Ain't no excuse for that. You could have gave it up. You
Peace
could
and
have
love. Peace and love.
gave it to the husbands or the baby daddy family. You could have told your family what you was thinking. It's a lots of different things.
I think she abused that baby more than
More than once.
once.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Most of my cases with children, we go do X-rays on them. It used to be multiple healing factors on them.
I got called on once, but it was because I had a vindictive ex. He was in, you know, them vindictive exes that are like, if I can't have him, you won't neither.
Right.
But it got closed that same day.
Oh yeah. I done been on
It was
plenty BS.
unfounded. And then I'm gonna tell you what my worker. You know, you're not allowed to tell who called on you, right? Who called on the
Right.
person. But what they told me said, since they want to make false reports on you, because my son at the time was going to therapy. You know what I'm saying? Twice a week, he was going to all this other stuff. They said as many doctors as he goes to, because my son has mild CP, right? They said
Yeah.
somebody would have done reported on you by now. You know what I'm saying? He was already 4 years old at this time. He was going to pre-K and everything, and going to school. You know, and they said somebody would have done reported on you by now. And they said since they want to make false reports on you, said they done said everything you could say about a person. They can't even call back with a new thing, right? They went to they said, well, I'm gonna go see the person who reported on you. 2 weeks later, I heard they went to my sister-in-law's house.
Mm.
And they did find something there.
Right. That's how it be. The people who call, you go there and they end up in a case.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, conscious energy? Here to spread love and positivity.
Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. You mind if I do my intro, Charlie?
You know I don't mind.
Peace and love, family. Peace and love. This your boy, Conscious Energy, speaking to you with the spectacular vernacular, doing it all legal, so I can fly like an eagle. Charlie, and what they say, TMO. I'm sending all y'all tons and tons of good energy. Take that, take that, take that. On this beautiful day, we just woo breathing in that good air. Yeah, Charlie. Hey, since y'all was discussing, kids and everything, and I wanted to ask you a question about child support because I see two women up here who have children. Do you think a man should have to pay child support even if the mother is stopping him from seeing his children? Go ahead.
Now, me, myself, and I have an ex that's a deadbeat, right? By his own choice. He only had 3 rules. His 3 rules to come see his kid. This is only 3 rules, and he could call me at any time. He had an open door policy. Was don't lie to him, Don't come around while you're drinking or on drugs. And if you say you're going to do something, keep your promise. Because that hurts the kid. Those are to
Right.
protect him, not me. And he chose to stay away. Now, you want to hear something crazy? Do you want to know
Go
what
ahead,
my
Charlie.
ex's child support is per week? And he won't
Go
pay
ahead,
it?
Charlie.
It's $30 a week. It's $132 a month.
Woo!
And he won't pay it. He's over $3 grand
Come
behind
on, Charlie.
again.
Come on,
Again.
Charlie. Don't tell me the man can't pay $30 a month. Charlie, and again, I'm just a male up here. I don't want people saying I'm being misogynist. I don't want people to use that word misogyny, because it seems like whenever a man try to, say something that got something to do with this child support, the women call me a misogynist. So let me
I
reframe
hate
what
the
I'm
women.
saying.
I
Go
hate the
ahead.
women who do that to good men. A woman who has children and the father's an actual deadbeat, not because the
Mhm.
mother's being vindictive. Do you know how much that hurts us to see a good man who wants to be there, who wants to do something for the child? You've got it made in our eyes, because we want that. We want that so bad, but we didn't get that choice.
And you know something, Charlie, because I know you got your own situation. TMO probably got another situation. But what I'm saying is that I talk to a lot of men, online, or whether it's offline, whether it's at the barber shop, whether it's at the car wash, and I hear the same story. Like this one man, he has 4 children with his ex-wife. He pays child support every month, and he also spend times with the kids. He try to spend time with the kids, whatever. But his ex-wife hasn't let him see his kids in almost 6 months, even though he's a good dad. He likes to spend time with the children. The child support comes out his check every 2 weeks, out his check, but his ex-wife is keeping the kids away from him. He done went to court and petition, and he didn't complain, but it seems like because in child support you got what's called the custodial parent, then you got the non-custodial parent, and normally the custodial parent got primary custody of the children. So do you think some women, maybe intentionally or non-intentionally, use children to try to hurt the man when they no longer together? Go ahead, Charlie. I'm gonna mute my mic.
Oh yes, I do believe some women do that. When I have seen some women say, if you won't be with me, you ain't gonna see your kid." I've seen some men say that. Because I have friends that are single fathers also, and the mothers are deadbeats. It goes both ways. But I will say, what your friends need to do, what you need to tell them, is they need to go back to court and have papers drawn up to where they get designated time. And here's a reason why. If she doesn't follow the court order, they can actually have her locked up. So they do need to, even though it's going to cost them out their butt, this is what I tell a lot of men: stop fussing about it and actually stand up and do something. Because here's the thing: you can't change something with words. And sometimes you can't work with her, but you can work with the
Right.
courts.
Well, the reason why, see, that's interesting how you put it, because you're definitely giving me a female perspective on how you see it. But the reason why a lot of men don't go to court, or they don't petition the court, is because they know it's gonna be a losing game. They know they're gonna spend $5,000, $7,000 on the lawyer, and they know when they go before that judge in family court, 99% of the chance, Charlie, the man, even though he's being properly represented by an attorney, the man is gonna lose the case 99% of the time in family court, because we all know the woman, 99.9% of the time, unless the woman is on some type of narcotic, she's incompetent, she's in a mental institution, 99% of the time the family court sides with the female. So what I'm saying is, Charlie, do you think it's a even playing field when the man goes into the court and say, hey, I want to petition for custody of the kid. I got a job. I spent time the kid's school, but the woman still ends up with custody and still ends up getting child support, even though the man has a lawyer and he petitioned the court. But some way, somehow, he gets railroaded. Go ahead, Charlie. I'm gonna mute my mic.
See, he's petitioning for what they consider sole custody. What he should be petitioning for is because he doesn't know his laws, right? He should be petitioning for his weekends, his time, right? Now, if he can't prove her to be an unfit mother, you're right. They're not usually going to take the kids from the mother because, you know, the courts do side with the mother because of the mother instinct, right? And because mothers are seen as the one who take care of children. But at the same time, what he should be petitioning for is not full custody. It's for partial, and it's for his weekends, for his visitations. If he gets that in the court documentation and she skips it. Now, here's the thing. I will say this, even that can be an uphill battle, right? She can still try to claim things. But if she does it multiple times, they can hold her what they call contempt of court. And if she does it enough, right? And she does it quite a few times, then he can petition. That gives him more legal standing to petition for full custody. That's where people aren't reading their family law bylaws, right? You gotta do it the right way, even though you want to try to work with her. It is best to try to co-parent with the other parent, right? It is best to try to do it without the courts. But sometimes if you have a vindictive ex or you have a person who doesn't want to do right, you have no choice but to do it the legal way. Now, I know the Miss O could speak on it from, you know, a social worker's perspective and what she sees in these family court things and stuff like that.
Well,
It,
you assumed I had a situation. I don't know why you assumed that because I'm married to my child's father. So, but I've seen, this, of course, and I have my own experiences with my father. Most of the time, the full custody is out of spite because if there's no, and that's what happens. So then the court intervenes because it's out of spite. So then they deny it. But if you pay child support, they have to have visitation if this is a contempt of court. And I've seen manipulation from women. I used to be so pro women to the point raised by a strong-headed single parent, saw a neglectful father, and I used to prejudge. But doing that let me see manipulation on the other side. The woman ain't always right.
Your name is Demon Soul, right?
The Miss O.
Demon O.
The Miss O. Yeah.
Oh, D Miss O. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. I'm from Texas. I'm just an old country boy, and sometimes I get my synonyms and my antonyms in a bit of a kerfuffle. But you know something? Because you spoke on something because you are in that particular atmosphere. Okay, can I use an example? Because like I said, I'm speaking from a male perspective. Let me speak on brother Tyrese. A lot of y'all know who.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Am I echoing, Charlie? Oh, okay. There you go. I'm on the echo. Okay, like what's going on with brother Tyrese? Everybody know Tyrese, R&B singer. He been on Fast and the Furious and a lot of stuff Tyrese done. Baby Boy, the movie. The list goes on and on. Very, very talented, responsible young black man. This brother is going through a whole kerfuffle right now with his ex because he's been paying $10,000 a month in child support, Charlie. $10,000 a month. Okay. The brother got arrested in family court because he hasn't paid child support in the last 48 days because his ex-wife petitioned the court that she wants $40,000 a month in child support. And so here we got a man, Tyrese, that's responsible, takes care of his children, and he was still locked up for failure to pay child support. Then they let him out of jail because he made the payment or whatever. But what I'm saying is, ladies, what child, you tell me, family, what child needs $40,000 a month? What child needs $10,000 a month? What can a mother spend on a child, that's $10,000. Now let's just play the rich man, rich woman game. Okay, you maybe live in a nice suburb if you married to a celebrity like Tyrese. So let's say the school tuition for the child is maybe, let's say, $10,000 a year for school tuition. You paying insurance for the child, that's maybe a few $100s. You may go to the mall, buy the kids some clothes, go out to eat and groceries. Maybe the kid is in some kind of activities. That's not even $4,000 or $5,000. So has the court system went too far, ladies, in this child support scheme? And I'm going to call it a scheme, but has it went too far? Why does a child need $40,000 a month? Or is that money really going to the mother so the mother can go to the Louis Vuitton, the St. Laurent's, the Coach store, get the newest iPhone? Y'all see where I'm going with this, ladies? I'm going to mute my mic. Go ahead.
I see where you're going. I'm going to tell you this. He only got, my ex has been, this is what he does, right? He'll go a whole year without paying, drop a little $20, go a whole nother year without paying, and they ain't did nothing. They'll start the paperwork, then they'll stop it because he'll act like he going to pay when he ain't going to pay. Now, they gave him 48 days. I have to wait 3 consecutive payments to even start the paperwork, right? So that's 3 whole months for me. Not 48 days, 3 whole months. Because he pays on a monthly basis, right? Even if he was paying bi-weekly, they still make me wait the 3-4 months, right? If he don't pay. Now, there was a time that my ex got behind, and you saw, I told you it was $30 a week. So you know this is a long time for him to be behind when he was behind over $5,000-$6,000. That was a lot of years. And this has been going on with him. My son's supposed to be 17 years old, right? So this has been going on for years with me. I can't even go buy his clothes for $132 a month. But somebody getting 10 grand, my child be living like a king at that point. Like he'd be getting it, but I don't see, I mean, they do base, I will say this is legally, they do base child support off of what the father makes, what the mother makes, what the bills are in the household, what the child needs. So it's not, they don't just pay. That's what a lot of people don't know.
Can we be honest, sister? Because I know, you know what I'm saying, I understand, you know what I'm saying, the second that you, and I understand that you're going to take the female perspective. I respect that, and especially what you're going through. And I think your baby father paying you $30 a month is outrageous. You know, every child deserves at minimum $300 a month. That's if the father is making minimum wage, $15 an hour, at minimum $300, $400 a month for the child for just basic necessities. But what I'm saying is, Charlie, is if a woman is getting $10,000 a month, is all that money really going to the child, or is the mother spending the money? That's what I'm saying, Charlie.
Oh no, I'm gonna say that's an outrageous amount. In my opinion, 10,000 is an outrageous amount. And if you really look into what a lot of these celebrity women get for not just child support but spousal support, it's crazy numbers. I mean, to the point of you're like, I could literally, like, I forget who it was, but there was this one lady who was getting like 600,000 a month or 200,000. It was a lot of money for spousal support, and then getting double on top of that for child support. I'm like, Lord have mercy, Jesus. If I got that amount, I'd be living like a king. And the sad part is, a lot of these women, that's like, we look at 50 Cent's case with his ex, right? She was asking for more money. The amounts that 50 Cent was paying her, if she had put it up in a savings account, or, had downgraded her lifestyle, right? She could have bought a house. She could have had a house bought for her kids, each one of them, set up bank accounts for them. There's so much she could have done if she just downgraded her, the way she was used to living, to something different. Because some of these spousal supports from these celebrities is huge. She could have moved to another state where it's cheaper, or moved into an area that's cheaper, bought a house. All she has to worry about then is taxes. And when the child turned 18, she would be set up. The child would be set up, and you wouldn't have to worry about too much.
So Charlie, but okay, because again, me and you, well, I can speak for me personally. I don't live in that reality to where I have so much money and you know, my child support is crazy football numbers. I don't have that problem because I'm not rich. Wish I was, but I'm not. But and I'm gonna leave you with this. I'm gonna go ahead and get on up out of there. I got something to take care of. But I'm gonna leave you with this, Charlie. Do you think at this point in 2024, regardless if a man is wealthy, whether a man is middle class, or whether a man is just a everyday working man, do you think a cap should be put on child support, regardless of how much money the breadwinner may have? Because it's to a point to where it seems like the court system is taking advantage mainly of men. Now there are women who pay child support, like Holly Berry. I can use Holly Berry as an example. She has a husband, I think, two kids with her former husband, and I think Holly Berry pays, I think, probably about 5,000 to 10,000 a month for those children. But the case I'm making is this: a man or a woman, but a man specifically, maybe a couple years he did real well, made a lot of money, but the next 5 to 10 years, he's probably not making that kind of money. He's making $100,000 a year, and maybe he got laid off, and he's not making that money no more. So that man that was making $100,000, guess what, Charlie? He still got to pay that $5,000 a month, even though he's not making that good money that he was making. But the court still making the man pay the exact same money, even though he's not making that kind of money. And that's how some men who are responsible end up in the reels, end up in family court fighting for their life because the baby mama or the ex-wife is trying to be spiteful because he hasn't paid child support because he can't afford it. But a year ago, the man was sending you 5,000, 10,000 a month. So he backed
See,
up in the real, and now they're trying to lock him up. Go ahead, Charlie.
that's where he's supposed to go to court the minute he loses that good job and get what they call where they readjust the child support because he's not making the money that he was at one point. So he's supposed to readjust his child support based on his income. That's the way the legal system works right now, is they are adjusting the child support based on, there's two factors, okay? The mother's income, the father's income, and what the children need, what their basic necessities are. So like, let's say you said insurance, that's one of them, right? That's one of the things. If they need to, they have a private schooling and their school cost and all those things, those are part of it. Now, do I think that there is an outrageous amount that is crazy that should be capped off? Yes. I also think the minimum amount is messed up too, because the bare minimum amount that I got, I've tried to have it adjusted, because at one time he was making $1,500 a week and wouldn't even pay me $30 a week, right? He was making $1,500 a week or more as a truck driver. He quit that job so he don't have to pay anymore because they were just taking it from him, because they will take it out that paycheck, right? They were taking it out that paycheck, but it wasn't even hurting him. It don't even bother what he was making, right? $132 a month is not. That was based on minimum wage in 2008 when my son was born.
And you know something, Charlie, because I think Demon Soul want to talk, but you know something, Charlie. I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here. I just want to thank you for hearing me out, letting me talk. I hope you have a beautiful day, everybody in the chat room. Hit the like button for Charlie and Demon Soul. I'm sorry if I'm misinterpreting your name. You have a good day, y'all. Take care, ladies. Peace.
Hey, have a good one. Yeah, Demon Soul, I know you had you with your husband. I already knew that, child. When he said that, I was like, no, Demon Soul with her baby daddy. I'm not with mine.
I mean, that's fine. I don't. My mama, I got a brother, and we got different daddies. And I don't care nothing about that. It's just that they always be assuming that it's a situation. And I'm like, that's not always the case. But Yeah, I mean, I get the Tyrese thing and some of the dramatics, which we don't really know. I mean, when you married, though, it's a little different story to me. I feel like that case is kind of messed up by the marriage part. I believe that's not a good example because the money that she get is also spousal slash and we don't know what she put in on with Tyrese. We don't know what they went through. We don't know what else. She's also, I think Tyrese's point though, which I can understand that with just knowing the cases that she's paid very well. She has a social media following and channel like she's doing really well. I'm sure she makes 7 figures because she has that and another job. So this is not a person who just came up only by Tyrese. Of course, his money is astronomical. So I do believe in a little bit more wage disparity. Like when a woman is doing very well, but that's how it is in Georgia now. See, every state is not the same. They just happen to pay to play to live in California. Because in Georgia, it's capped. You can't just get them astronomical. That's why everybody was so shocked when Usher got custody of his kids. The courts have been leaning to men and being successful men for a while, depending on where you are, and they've been able to get full custody just by having a better lifestyle, not because of neglect and stuff. And so that's been the term they've been taking. But they do cap it here. You can't get those big old huge settlements like you used to could get. When the girl wasn't doing nothing and her job was being a baby mama, that's going away a lot of places. But when you pay to play in California, you know what you're getting into. And this whole fools rush in. Tyrese was not in the mental state to be married. He got into a situation, masking stuff. It's be more complicated. So then you married and you're not trying to act married. I mean, they tear your mouth out sometimes. It's called play to pay. So I don't really feel bad for a lot of these mega rich people because I don't know what was going in with it and what violations was done, what life was built. I don't know what all that. When you marry, I think that's a whole different ball game. And that some of that is spousal support. So yeah, nigga, you gonna play to pay. Sometimes fools rush in, and sometimes you either learn what they say. You either get a taught lesson or a bought lesson, and some of these men that be they bought lesson. They won't fuck around no more.
That's like you see it a lot with these celebrities. The spousal support be crazy, astronomical. But it's because they got all that money. They base it on what the income is.
Quit
And
getting
it's
people you ain't equally yoked with if you don't want to play the cost after it without a prenup. Because that's what I'm saying. When you're not equally yoked, I mean, and you don't make good decisions on the front end, sometimes you pay in the back end, but you're going to pay.
well, that's like you were talking, marriage is a whole different thing, right? It is a contract that you're entering into. And without having a prenup or a situation to where you can protect yourself and the other person. Now, here's another thing that a lot of people don't know. There's some celebrities say, "Well, I got an ironclad prenup." Not if she can completely show that you have been unfaithful and broke the marriage contract. Here's the thing. If she has definite proof that you've been cheating, I don't care how much you think that prenup is also invalid if you've been cheating. That's one thing. Now you got to make sure in those prenups, you know what I'm saying, that you know that even if she signs one, if you have been unfaithful and you broke the marriage contract, right? The marriage contract that also breaks the prenuptial agreement because you just proved that you couldn't even keep the first contract. You get what I'm saying? So both contracts are null and void if you do that. So a lot of these celebrities are going there thinking, well, I can do whatever I want. We got a prenup. Not always. Not always. There's a lot of factors into this stuff, like with child support and stuff, right? I live in the state of Mississippi. Everybody knows that. I done said it 101 times, right? So in my state, the reason my child support was so low and so crazy minimum, even though I've tried to readjust it and it's a whole thing. But it's based on, income. So at the time he didn't have a job. He had no income. It was based on minimum wage back then. And back then minimum wage was $7 an hour. That's how they adjusted it. They did not adjust for anything else. And because of that, that's why it was so low.
So you can't bring him back in for a review, like snatch him back in?
I tried. I went through all the paperwork that you do to review when he had the job and he was making $1,500 a week or more. He was making anywhere from 1,500 to 5,000 a week as a truck
Now,
driver,
see, with
right?
that, he could have kept them folks out your business. This is what I don't understand. Like, when you have a thorough bitch, because I'm a thorough bitch, I'm never going, if I'm having my husband today, like, we can work, so I know he a good father. We gonna work something out, and I know I'm gonna get way better than what the court gonna give me by working it out. Like, because even if I did get spouse and do all that other stuff, like, basically, we gonna work that out. We ain't gotta put the people in their business. People be forgetting about the part that led up to putting the people in business, and everybody don't be with a thorough bitch. Some of that is also on the front end decision making. So lots of times, some of these things that be happening be multi-layered because people aren't making the best, decision. So
Oh,
my whole thing is like it be other things. It don't be just one on. That's why I can't you never know like all of it that be in there to make the decision. But I'm just saying he made 1,500. See, this is the thing. He would be better off just giving you money and like doing for the child and keeping the people out your they business. So you finna quit. This let you know he don't have no ambition. Cause ain't now court gonna have me quitting a $1,500 a week job to avoid paying that child support. What kind of backward thinking? He is not thinking with the mind of a father. That's vengeful because he don't want you to have no money. See, and I don't even care if you give it to me. Take the kids shopping. Go take them buy the things for school. Give me some money on that light bill. We gonna work together if we had something together. But see, it depends on how y'all relationship was. Every child ain't made from love. Every child ain't made from relationships too. That's another thing. We don't never know.
well, see, I was engaged to him.
Right.
We planned out our child. He was a miracle baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I never thought he would do this. When you
Right.
don't think the person's going to do it and then they do it, it really bothers you. I've tried so hard. Every time I'd be like, why don't we just co parent? Why don't we just co parent? And then he would always run away
Right.
when I didn't want to be with him. When I'd
That's
say, no,
crazy.
I don't want to be with you. We just need to co parent.
So he probably still resentful because you done married and moved on and got, properties and see that sounds like hurt feelings. And to me that's so neglectful because he even visit your child or call?
Mm-mm. He ain't
See,
seen him
that's
since he was
ridiculous.
2.
Is his people at least active?
Nope.
Damn, that's unusual from where we from.
Yeah, like his, at first they were, and then they decided to walk away too because he ain't. Because I asked him to do one simple thing. I said, until he decides to step up and be there, please don't bring his name up. Because every time they brought up his
Right.
name, my kid would be crying and hurting and all this stuff. So I said, please don't bring up his name. Every time you do, it hurts him. And he starts acting out, and when he wants to step up and be there, then that's fine. But right now, don't tell him, yo, daddy loves you. Don't do that. It's you come to see him. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. You're hurting him. You're not hurting the other person. You know what I'm saying? You're hurting the child at that point. Like, do what's best for him. Like, just don't even bring it up. Just sit there and visit. You know what I mean? I even offered to take him to play dates to see his cousins, all that other stuff. Child, they didn't want to do nothing.
Yeah, that's crazy. That sounds like my father and my side of the family. They like that too, and then I always try to say, we can't help their behavior. But the new relationship, like I don't understand how some of these. That's a whole other topic. How some of these women get with these men, how they treating their own kids, and thinking that you're gonna be exempt or they can start something new and it's gonna be different. And then the sad part about it is when it is different, when they become father of the year to that other family, but then you just acting like these other kids. And there's no way I could marry a man. That's one reason I didn't want to marry a man with kids that don't do what he's supposed to do for another child. I can't understand women who be like, it ain't my household or my kids is fine. That type of shit to me, I really don't get with because it's like that nigga would have never been able to go inside of me raw, knowing he wasn't checking on, knowing what's going on, don't even know the status, teacher's name, the school's name. These men don't even be knowing the teacher, homeroom teacher name for kindergarten. That's like the pivotal time when your child only got one teacher's name to keep up with, and they don't even know what's going on with them. And as soon as they turn 18, they running down there to take it off from the child support. And you got kids going to college, and then they don't even want to pay them measly child support to further it. Some parents really don't want their kids doing better than them.
What's crazy is he remarried before I did.
Right. And then I could have never married no man when knowing he wasn't taking care of his child, especially his child with a small diagnosis that needs extra love and attention and help. That is crazy. There's no way that nigga would have been. I would my French. There's no way where I would have been marrying somebody that did that to their child. How could you fall in love with that? To me, you have to be a whole man for me to fall in love with you.
And his wife, he quit his job. She went and got the same job he had, making the same money. So she went to truck driving, making all that money, right? And I'm like, so that he wouldn't have to pay. But I've reported it, but you know that if they're legally married in most states, that the wife has to pick up the child support if she's the one that's the breadwinner. I don't know if y'all know that, but they ain't did nothing about it. You know, it's the state of Mississippi, child.
Yes, a lot of women is getting garnished for that reason.
My state be slow.
Well, he gonna have a whole. I bet he got a whole shitload of back child support, even for that smaller month. He still got the band. See, he don't even care. You could tell he don't even care about his profession because they'll snatch them CDLs for acting like that.
Oh yeah, they've already
But see,
threatened
you
to
don't
take his
care if you
life.
quit. You
He
don't give
don't
a
care.
fuck.
He don't care. Yeah, Jay Dunn said we both need to Hirsch. We need to Hirsch. What we need to Hirsch about, Jay Dunn? Come up here and tell us. You know, smack up ourselves out the head with a little bit. We didn't start this conversation, okay? It got landed on us. We was talking about something totally different. We was talking about Roro and Brian, and we was talking about Mother and Brian, and you know, all that other stuff. But it is a good conversation that I think needs to be had sometimes because a lot of people go through this. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people go through it. It is a thing. I've had to deal with this. My son's fixing like he's 17. You know, so I've been dealing with this for it ain't. But he ain't got but one more year, and they'll probably cut him off the child support, right? But he still owes me a lot of money. Hate to tell him, even if they cut it off, he's still gonna owe me. Hate to tell him that. I ain't signing that paperwork to say he ain't owing me nothing. You gonna pay that what you owed, even if it ain't but a little bit. I'm sorry. That's me being vindictive right there. I'm sorry. I apologize. After 18 years and you not doing nothing, and I gave you the option.
Story or a issue to report with his lifetime being ladies man.
Yeah, he has 3 stepchildren by his wife, and a grandbaby because he married a woman that was a little bit older than him, and he takes up more for that grandbaby than he does his own child. He has
That's how it be. That's the shit I can't respect right there.
uh-huh. And now I will say I've spoken to his wife. She's a nice lady. Um, she did try to get him to do right, but I don't know why she stayed with him because he was also DA, you know, domestic with her. I wouldn't have took that. I'd have knocked him upside the head.
She just all the way stuck on stupid. I don't care how nice she is, she's still stupid. Because there is no way I would have got with him in the first place. And then with the domestic too. And then, you bringing your kids and your grandkids around somebody who don't even check on their child. See, this is the thing. I had child.
Oh no,
Mm-mm.
and here's $100 that he probably runs around says I've kept the child from him and all this other stuff, lying
Mm.
on me and stuff. And I'm like, child, I'm gonna tell you this. Why would I? And if you'd have worked something out with me, I'd have never even went to child support in the first place. But you didn't want to do nothing, so I didn't have a choice. You gave me no choice. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Mm.
I got a fist and be 17-year-old. I do. He fist and be 17. I found out on my 20th birthday I was pregnant with him. He was my birthday present that year.
Oh, I knew. Now here go talent. See, I put it a different way, Mr. William. Here go talent to put it a different way, child.
You got to pay that child support, child. They will get
Now
you.
I ain't say you had back child support, Mr. William. I just said maybe you can give us a perspective, a different perspective. Come up here. That was talent that put all that up there about your business. Now I ain't saying you owe nothing to Mr. William. Probably paid his support on time, like the people said, or they worked something out. I ain't finna go there like talent.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about his situation. What happened?
Hmm.
because everything's case by case.
Right.
Like everything's different. Ooh, they was
Oh, okay. Well,
chat.
Taylor say you still owe Mr. Carruthers. Maybe you can input, give us a little corrected if that's not the case. I don't know how Taylor knows your child support history or what you owe, but he say he do, child. Child. But anyway, yeah, everybody pay their child support, even if the child is 40. The woman will still take her back pay.
Not even if the child is 40.
Yes, I still want my back child support.
Oh my god, child, that is hilarious. Yeah, I'm gonna say this. If you can work out a way for you to co-parent and commingle correctly, try to do it that way first, because you don't want to have to involve the courts if you don't have to. Um, try to do it the right way, not for you or your ex-partner, but for the child's sake. Because if you two can get along, the child is going to have so much more. Because and don't worry about who your partner's getting with unless that person is a bad person and they mean harm to your child, right? But if you know that person's a good person and all that stuff, uh, you know, just be thankful. Even if they call the other parent, right, mom or dad, they're never going to take your place. Know that. Don't get vindictive because of that. Like if let's say he's got a good woman, right? And your child decides to call that person mom. That doesn't take away the fact that you are the mom. You know what I'm saying? That just means he respects her enough that she's good enough to him to give that title to, which means he's blessed beyond blessed. If he's got two fathers and two mothers, he's blessed or she's blessed, right? Co-parent, commingle, because it's better for the child's sake. Like, don't look out for what's best for you when you have a child. It's never about you anymore once you have a kid. It's about the kid. It's always about the kid. It should be, anyway. But not everybody does that. But Tyrese, okay, so this just happened. Didn't he just cry like a year ago or 2 years ago? He was online crying about his other daughter. Does he have two kids now?
Yeah, he was online crying about the one with his new wife. The other daughter is older. I think that's the only two he got. The other one was older. And I think. And then but yeah, and now they keep going back. At first it was about the divorce. Then he did the record and broke down and all that crying. Then it was about, now it's about child support because he got arrested in contempt of court for not paying it. He said it doubled out the blue and a bunch of stuff. But then he told the people he ain't had the money, but then he bonded out like in 5 minutes. So over on, and he paid the 20,000, whatever it was. So she snatched him back for more money, and they put him in contempt of court. And then they handcuffed, it had him booked him in, and then he posted out later because he told the judge he had nothing. He was broke down. But then he posted the bond, like I said, in 5 minutes after.
So I know a dude. Now I gotta tell y'all a funny story. I knew a dude. We called him Big Head Fred, right? That's his name. That's what we call him. Okay. His baby mama took him to court, right? And he told the judge, he said, I ain't paying her nothing. Judge said, all right, contempt of court, 30 days. He came back to the court. He said, all right, I'm ready to pay.
Right. The tune be changing once them handcuffs come on.
He had to sit the whole time, though. He wasn't like Tyrese. He didn't get to bond out within 5 minutes.
Hmm. And it take all that. But I see what Tyrese, but this person Tyrese don't sound the best. It don't sound like it's, completely fair. But like I said, they was married and I don't know like the behind the scenes stuff. And they live in a different state. You gotta be smart how you do all that because women sure do be thinking about it from the very beginning, baby. A lot
I
of the stuff these dudes be falling in love with the coochie and getting so blinded. But when somebody already 2 steps ahead of you and preparing for that stuff and strategizing, and you don't even know it because you so wide open. That be what happened. Some
Yes.
people will be like, oh, baby, let's get married here. Like, women be calculating from the very beginning. Don't let it fool you.
I will say this, I've seen that a lot in those celebrity marriages, that a lot of these girls, especially the ones who wasn't famous beforehand and get used to the lifestyle, oh, they be trapping them. I've seen some of these video vixens, as they say, Instagram models be trying to trap these men. I'm like, oh, I already know what she's doing. Like, she trying to do it without a prenup. Mm-hmm.
And they be so wide open. That's what I'm saying. You're going to pay on the front end or the back end, but you're going to pay. Can you drop the link for Mr. Carruthers? Because I want to let him be able to speak his piece, because talent is over here smearing his good name as in fatherhood. And enlighten me. Did he say something recently about me and running cute? Mr. William, because I had heard that him and his ex-girlfriend was over there calling folks gorillas or monkeys or something, laughing. But see, people don't be seeing stupid shit like that. They just saw my little experiment with talent, thought I was exempting behavior. No, they're two of the same people. They're cut from the same superficial cloth. I'm not surprised. But unlike some people, I don't run from the camera. I embrace it, and it embraces me. So the true insecurities, I've never been freaked out or had a meltdown based on the camera catching me, especially when I'm like supposed to be going out and looking nice. That would have been, the focus would have been on me the whole time. I don't need no tricks. I would have been the trick in front of the camera because I want you to see. So I don't have those issues. So there's that. But I've been telling people that. But now they finally getting to see the true insecurity. But no, both of them was cut from the same cloth. I'm cordial, but I'm not stupid.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus.
And anything he wants to say about me related to skin color or looks, baby, you better look at it times two, baby, because you was fucking the same thing, which I am. Thank you.
I love your darker skin. I think you have beautiful skin. It glows and stuff. And a lot of people don't realize, like, the colors pop better. Like, if I
Child,
wear the
please,
same
honey,
color
the
you
makeup
do, it
palette
ain't gonna look
loves
right.
me. Every time I
I
go in
know,
front of
right?
an MUA, they be like, your skin is like butter. Like, hey, you like, I want to like use you for like your features and all of that. Child, that's because these people are like of a certain cloth or a certain whatever way views of thinking. But the new way of thinking, child, every time I go in the Sephora, these motherfuckers gas and ask me what the fuck am I doing over here by the makeup.
Your skin glows. Like, you don't need base products, in my opinion.
I just do it for fun, sometimes, but or like concealer. Like if you're going out, I use concealer because my eyes starting to get that little like back. I don't need to start using eye patches, but I can pretty much just use water if I want need to on my face. But people don't see stuff like that. I don't need a whole lot of war paint. Seems like other people do from what we saw. Mr. William talking about, so he had like you owe him child support, Mr. William. He had like he done had your baby. Pay your baby mama talent. He need payment to buy folks $300 bottles of liquor to try to make a fool out of them. Maybe he should go pay your child support since he got nothing but money to waste. That's what I think.
Also,
If you
now,
so worried about Mr. Williams' kids' child support, why don't you pay it? Evidently, you got money to waste.
sweet baby Jesus.
Mr. William, what's the cash out? Drop your cash out for talent so he can help you pay, or go live so he can super chat your back payment. See if he really care about the babies that's been neglected, the children that weren't given they just due. He need to put his money where his mouth is.
Oh, so he owed Mr. Williams some back child support.
Pay what
Sweet.
you weigh.
I'm
Anyway, we
up.
were talking about all types of stuff this morning, from the deadbeat moms in the landfill, because them hoes deadbeat too, from the deadbeat dads, from the manipulated moms of Hollywood. What's next? Rodney lost his mind stick. Me and Ro competition. It's to just be said that it's dry, but I don't want nothing too tough, and I don't want to, and I don't want to be the sacrifice to jump it off, which I'm usually am. I'm off content for a while. I don't need to be helping to be set up with content no more. I've done enough. It's time for other people to get on their back and make some damn magic happen.
I
Today
will
is
say,
Wednesday, so they gonna act up today. You know how it always is. Something happens on Wednesday. It's a big old thing. Then it kicks off the pre-weekend Thursday. You gonna talk about what happened on Wednesday. Whoever situation was Wednesday, it's gonna have a turn to carry us all in the weekend for the murderous weekend. That's how it always go. Wednesday is usually the day when folks start giving us the free work for the storylines.
oh yeah, I say hump day is always the day that something goes down for Thirsty Thursdays. And then Friday, you know, like everybody and their mama's at it. And then on Saturday and Sunday, they start wrapping it up and a new storyline comes out and so on and so forth. Now, some of these storylines been going on for a minute. Now, I did see Just Krista jump up on Lemons last night, but then she had a live. I didn't get to catch.
Wait a minute. She went back over to enemy territory. Krista, see, this is the thing when I say off script clients.
See, that's why I said my clients. Everybody don't know this, but I'm the YouTube lawyer for Big Man TV. My client at least be telling me how he really feel and what's really going on, you know. But your client, Demon Soul, your client, yeah, she went back to over there. They had a conversation. Even what's the Lights guy name? Something Lights.
Oh Lord, he back into it. The scene of the original crime. Oh my God.
And him and Lemon was going at it. I was like, what?
Why didn't we even let that fool up? Oh Lord.
I don't know, but they were on there at the same exact moment too. So you know that they fit to run with the narrative that he is Miss Just Krista's next man. They gonna run Classic Lights. Thank you, Unwild Messy. They gonna run with the narrative that Just Krista and Classic Lights is a thing.
Well, hell, the way things going, is it a narrative? Will it be a narrative? Who knows? She off script, so shit, anything can happen.
You gonna have to talk to your client. You gonna have to talk to your client. Attorney privileges over here.
We need her, for the love of Krista, immediately to change the narrative. Miss, well, she ain't Lemon no more. Now she Miss Survival or something. And I didn't realize it until I was on a panel with her Pizarro yesterday. I said, I just burst out laughing. I couldn't control myself. I said, when the hell you change your name, Just Krista? I will survive. I said, is this surviving what? Lemon? No, in life, you know, people are survivors. I said, girl, I can't stop. You finna start it up, and I'm excited. I knew you was gonna come through. I knew the F shit was gonna come through and pay out. That's why I've been sticking beside her. Cause when I seen that Miss Survivor up there, I said, bitch, I died. I could not. Like that Krista, I tell you, she is just, her and Road need to do a show together. Cause them and they little skits and they be on character like the whole time. Like Krista would not break character.
Well, you know that it was brought up some of her stuff from the past with her ex Corey and stuff like that.
I didn't know about that. Yeah, I heard about that. How did they know about that? Did Krista tell them about that? Because I didn't never hear about that.
No, because I didn't know about it either. And she was just in chat a while ago. I'm scrolling up. The Queen Before You reacts on her channel. She's got the videos. You know, she's got the videos and she's showing them, you know, from people's words, not her words per se. But yeah, she's got the video. It shows the ex. Like I seen what the ex looked like in the face. Like he was on her live years and years and years ago when she was BBW. And that's how I found out about it. And I told Just Kristen, I said this yesterday when she was in here, that she need to come out and clear that situation up because it's going to grow legs. Once it's out there, people start talking about it, it's going to grow legs. Get in front of the story before you get behind the story.
Well, see, this is why I realized that y'all not understanding Just Krista's. Now I'm not fully included yet. It's a work in progress. I got to get to know it, to understand it. But so far, the thing in which you say to caution is the thing in which Just Krista is gonna run to. So the fact that y'all know about it, and when I heard her reaction to somebody, and that's kind of newer, and like, how you know about court? No, baby, I think this is all by design.
Yeah, your sound went out for a minute, beautiful.
Yeah, I think she likes it. I don't think that this is something that she'll listen to your caution, but I kind of think letting it play out will just only help things out. So I don't think she wants to stop it, child.
She may not want to. She
That's why
may
I'm
want.
enjoying it.
She may want that storyline. That may be a new storyline for her, you know? But if I was her, I would jump in front of the story. You know what I'm saying? That's what I try to tell everybody. I think sometimes she can be listening to me because I told him before when the freak Twitter came out, I said, well, you might as well make you an OnlyFans then and make you some money. And then I heard he made an OnlyFans. I'm like, that's what I said. I've been saying it. If you're gonna be one, at least be a paid one. Uh, and some of the things I told him about, you know, where Lemon supposedly saw some stuff on his laptop. I said, if in case he saw anything and you know what he saw, come out here and tell on yourself. Because if you can get in front of the story, right, then you can control partial of the narrative. If you let the narrative be spun on you, all kind of things gonna be said about you. And then you just sitting here having to debunk. Tell on yourself. Take the bullets out that gun. That's all I'm saying. I tell on myself. I snitch on myself. I'm just saying. That's just the food for thought for anybody in this sector. If you know somebody's supposed to come out with a storyline on you and you know what it involves, come tell on yourself. Oh, Lord. So Mr. Talent, Mr. Carruthers is up in the chat, still going at it. Well, woo, Lord.
They gonna fight into doomsday.
Yeah, I think they will too.
Mr. William, you not gonna come up and talk to us about the child support topic and set Talent straight?
I mean, the link is pinned and I have dropped it. So.
Oh, okay. Child, they gonna fight. They've been fighting since Avatar Nation. Speaking of which, Talent. Did you see me and SK reunion over there? And I guess he going live again because him and Jay Wilson was kind of pseudo fighting. I guess you're gonna call it that. But I need to go over there because I didn't get no alert. I don't think I'm subscribed because hell, I didn't know he was going live. I guess he went live again the other day. I was over there when he went live last week about because he couldn't stand it no longer. He said he had to stop the madness and tell Lemon his real opinion about what's going on. And then I came up at the end for that, and we had our little back and forth. Basically, him telling me, why am I over at Jay Wilson's? I'm helping him, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, we had an interesting exchange, and that was been the first time in quite a while that we've had an exchange like that. Shit, might have been 2 years. Jay Wilson is telling me that he's wanting to loan me out to make SK to help SK revive his platform over there, and to let me know that it's okay to go and go help him, and then I can come back over. I was like, look at Jay Wilson, somebody he gonna loan me out like I got to go over there and like I'm channel damn magic to go over there and then come back. Like he giving him Godfather permission. I'm like, I ain't gotta go. I said, now I'll go talk to him if he do drop the link and then. But I say, I'm not going over there completely because Sir King ain't consistent. I be having stuff to say. I need for my link to be available on a regular basis. Pastor got to schedule the program. I know I'm gonna have multiple times a day, and then he ain't past going live upon request. Y'all know I have to control my situations. SK is being no, and he require blind loyalty. Ain't no way I could hold out for when SK go live to get my shit off. Hell no.
They been so like whoever's link is first in the morning. That's why I'm clicking it. I'm getting it off right then and there so I can go on about my day.
Yeah, well, now, I'm picky as hell. I don't go to everybody. That's another reason why people don't like me. I do believe, because I believe if I click their link, they would have no problems. I don't click no everybody's link, and they know it. That's why they start attacking Jay Wilson's link for a while by me being over there and coming up there bothering me. But they look like they done got tired, so hopefully then they leave us alone. But no, I only got a couple links I click, so yeah. And then lately Pizarro ain't been consistent in the motherfucker. So yeah, I got a pastor is right now. I can't leave the house of Jay Wilson to go over there and help SK. He not reliable. Plus, he ain't gave me no apologies.
So you heard that, SK? You owe Diva So an apology.
Mm-hmm. Well, Talon, that's what Jay Wilson said. Jay Wilson said that he thinks I should go over there and help him because evidently, Jay, that's what he hating on about me being over there and that SK, is dead and blah blah blah. And he's hey, Jay Wilson feels like it'll be nice and charitable and Christian like for me to go help him and then come back over and report to the house of Wilson upon delivery. But like I said, SK ain't consistent enough for me. And if I go over there and talk to Pastor first, you know how SKB get and how he used to get if I went somewhere else. He used to like it when I was mad at everybody and was just only over there at night. This ain't the same no more. Mm-mm.
Yeah, like that's hilarious where he said just Christian beyond Christianly.
Eric, he told me that other day. He said, "Yeah, go on over there. I ain't gonna be upset. I won't be. You always got to play something. But I think he needs you. I think this is a cry for help." And I said, "Jay Wilson, they something else." Oh, Mr. Williams said he got to go take care of some business, but enjoy everything. Let the trolls have his spot. Like, all right, Mr. Williams. Now, if I crank up my channel over there and start doing promotion for me and Row Competition, you better come click my backup page. And you better be subscribed because I always count on Mr. Williams whenever I want to come out. And it's TMO. I don't even know what it is. It's TMO 2. TMO 2. Yeah.
Let me go ahead and find that for you.
TMSO 2. That's what it is. And it got about, you'll know it's mine because this one I'm on now only got like 11 subscribers. And that one I think got like 300 or something like that or 2 something. Because I never really did post it when I had my channel. I had forgot about it. That wasn't nothing but the devil making me forget about that backup channel because I would deleted it at the time too. And it's just over there holding out for when I just can't take it no more. Let me see. All right, Mr. William, you have fun in them streets. And I know you got a new woman there and everything. Y'all know Mr. William got him a woman over there. It's local, not far. She can be over there within 10 minutes. I love this for Mr. William. Everybody need companionship.
Okay, I got it.
Thank you. But yeah, everybody, no matter what age, you need companionship. I think that's nice. He got him a local girlfriend, a local woman. I love that. And got rid of the Caribbean, now what is she? Some island child, the island robber, or whatever. They're trying to take Mr. William livelihood or whatever. He got rid of that dead weight and got him a new, younger, local woman in real life. Natasha, who? That was another reason when SK tried to come revive and be messy, getting in Mr. William business. But I could tell SK was listening to me because I was giving complete direction for how that interview should go, what should be done, blah, blah, blah. And it went according to everything I had said in my life, where I felt like he kind of could have got a little bit further. He didn't push the messy as much as I would have. Because I've been like, hell no. Nah. Natasha up there too, and she was ready to carry. She was taking money out of her behind her. She had money up under the ground, money on the bookshelf, money under her titties, and giving all these stories. Child, ain't no way we wouldn't have had that rocket. Oh, hell no, because she was ready to perform that day. He dropped the ball with that one.
Even I would have tried to been a little messy to make that go a little further.
Thank you, Miss Messy. Thank you, James. But yeah, I would have got that a little bit more messy. But then I like Mr. Williams too, so I would have gave him let him be up there more to give his side of it. But Natasha was in a talking mood that day. She was all primed for a tour had it went a certain way because she was ready. But the Lord was looking out for Mr. William, as it should be when you leave a good life, Mr. William.
Jesus said no.
Right. Talent said yes. But the devil did not win, baby. The devil did not win.
Oh, that's hilarious. But yeah, with Rodney's situation, he did go live this morning and he was talking about the lemon situation. Now, here's my thing. If you told him to take your mind stick, why are you mad now? Like, if I told somebody to take my mind
how they go. People don't really want you to take it when they say take it.
If I said take mine, I really mean it at that point. I may be mad at you, but I wouldn't be mad because you took my mind stick. I'd be mad for a whole nother reason. But I mean, you cannot moderate based on your personal feelings. You have to take that out and do what's best for the content creator. Like that's it. The Miss O. Hey, Miss Dovey. if I was your moderator, right, and you had specific rules set for your channel, I'm not gonna go based on what I'm thinking, right? I'm gonna go on what you think. And even if somebody in the chat eating me up, right, I ain't gonna block them because it's your channel, unless you tell me to. It's called respect.
But
I
that's the
mean,
thing. The mod sticks over here aren't built on that. They not built on channel growth. They're built on kind of loyalty and the mods are like I mean it's good because I believe people should be appreciated like for service. I love that power and that respect. Like my mods run a chat, but sometimes the content creators use that as a way to get away from like doing shit themselves or getting blamed for stuff. People are getting mad at the mods, so don't let that trick fool you either. But we can't act like I had said before to play devil's advocate over at YTC channel. Now, Rodney coming from an entitled place as a moderator ain't exactly his own fault because the way things are over here in certain chats, moderators are glorified. They are said to do whatever they can do. I trust my moderators. They run my chat. They can do what they want. Some allow you to get up on the stage and say whatever and argue with the chat. He's been in 2 environments at least where that was done, where people have tried to tell the truth when me and him was a different place. I tell MU them same stuff. They don't give a fuck. It's they moderators because that's kind of how the beef set started. I don't say even not the OGs because the OGs function off less moderators. Like they didn't have all the moderators like that. So because of the politics, and then when you got content creators as moderators, that's a different thing. We've seen plenty of mod scandals in the last 2 years than we've seen in the whole surgence of the beef sector. So Rodney is coming from an entitled place where we've let that moderator role. I was looking forward to your panel on that because I've been at the prey and then I've been the moderator and I've been the prey. So that would be a good actual panel discussion. But I don't know if everybody's ready for that. If everybody has, good heart coming into that, because some CC should be a part of that too, because that's the moderators are kind of infamous a little bit around here.
well, see, that's why I was trying to get a bunch of different ones together at the time, and I've been trying to put it out there, but I can't get like I know that I could probably get your participation at Rodney's, right? And possibly some of my other mod brothers and sisters from VS, right? Or maybe Miss Unwind or something like that. But I've been trying to get like participation from all different places, like so that we can have an honest conversation. I want to have that on Mondays, like almost a Monday show, to where let's say Miss Davin wanted to come up this Monday, right? But somebody else, let's say I'm going to use Miss Unwind couldn't come up this Monday, but wanted to come up next Monday, right? Because they had free next Monday. That way that, the moderators can come up and talk about their situations, because here's the thing. A lot of the mods, the subbies don't know them, right? They know them, but they don't know them, right? They know them from chats. And some of the things that moderators go through, like being from each side of the coin, is a good thing too. The moderators who are content creators, because what you would do as a moderator can affect your channel, and vice versa.
That's the thing. A lot of mods are not are avatars and don't click links. It's only the ones that are content creators or either like super mods that's real opinionated. Be able to click a link like every blue moon. I don't think Meanwhile's ever clicked the link. So some of your mods like that are part of their mystique is the fact they don't really click links. Pastor Crew, Ron P don't click links. I don't know if Dr. LaShawn has ever clicked the link. Some of his more like active mods are ones that's got their own scandals, like Rodney, and then Beach is gone. So Vivian is a content creator and a mod. She probably would do it.
Yeah,
But
I would
straight
love
mods,
to
you
do
don't
that.
have a problem getting people who are only mods, because part of that is because most of the big content creators, like for example, the elephant in the room is that I'm not a mod at Pizarro's. This has been explored before, and I'm also immediately not at a place to have a moderator stick all the time in Pizarro, because I'm going to do what I want to do, and then she gonna have to defend that, and it's another reason why she gonna have to argue with her people for me. That just works better, and people like to say, "Oh, that you need that. That means they care about you." Blah 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 blah. It's certain things that I know will make situations worse. So because I only became a mod of me at the end of my channel, because what was the need? Like that's why I think some of these mod sticks are about what you want people to think you are to that person. Because really, if you're close enough, that probably is the best idea not to have a mod stick.
I would
Because
say that. Yep.
of course of what would happen, you already got to relate to multiple things. It just depends. Some people are controversial, and I could understand. And I know me. I've admit my impulse control is not good enough. So sometimes I'll just I just got back into my game recently with helping out Ro, and that was already a problem. Like, he got so many comments about what they thought I was gonna do. I don't do that to people channel though. I know how to be professional. But in a place of chaos, I'm not gonna say I ain't gonna abuse it. So hey, it's best for certain things not to happen because I already know what I would do. But it's because people do shit, and even if people tell them not to do nothing, they do it anyway. But
Well,
they are never gonna do more than what the content creator want them to do. I don't care what content creators tell y'all, because ultimately you can take their mind stick off. So that whole thing. Sometimes when they say my mods run my chat, it's because they don't really want to be in the line of fire. But you got OGs like Lady Nika who handpick people, and they know they got people who not gonna abuse her channel. So, and she watches how they are. Like, sometimes it's a lot of my they pick people based on like their quietness. I know OGs, I feel like, and I would like to hear it from them, but I think they kind of pick minds that ain't as sensational, that don't be on links, because it comes back to their channel.
well, see, that's why even before I became a content creator, when I was just moderating for VS, I had to be careful what I did, how I stepped, because it could come back to her, and I didn't want that to be a thing. That's why you didn't see me in certain chats when she was fighting with people. It was because that could bring back some kind of mess, and I wasn't going to be in it. That's the way I felt about it. So I took, 2 steps back, pretty much. I'm like, I'm not going to involve myself in it. I'm not going to become a part of it, because you have to, as a moderator, also think about the channel holders that you mod for, and what you could bring back to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got doxxed the first time. It wasn't a full dox. It was just a small dox. But at the time, I wasn't even a content creator. I was just a moderator because somebody thought I blocked them. It wasn't even me who did it.
Damn.
Yeah, which we've had a ceasefire since then, me and that person. But at the time, it was because they were mad and they were in the chat and somebody else blocked them. But I got blamed for it. I guess I was the one they wanted to come after. And I didn't do nothing because I wasn't told to block yet. If I'm not told to block yet, or I don't see you breaking YouTube guidelines, I'm usually not the one who blocks you. But now, if my content creator, if I'm in any, like, I don't just moderate for VS either, I also moderate for the Hood Table, right? And I've in the past moderated for other people. I moderated for Queen 88. I moderated for Coolin in the past, right? I don't block unless I'm told to. Now, timeout, putting somebody in timeout, I only do that also if you're breaking YouTube guidelines or you're spamming the chat. Like, sometimes those trolls will come in and they'll spam vote for Trump 2025 or whatever, or 2024.
Right.
And it's just constant. Those are the only ones I do that to, because you're spamming the chat. It's different, it's basically, I'm going by YouTube guidelines. Now, if the content creator said get them out my chat, put them on like at Good Putty Cats, she don't like a lot of times like to block folks. She likes for you to put them in timeout. I've moderated for her too, right? And she said put them in a 24-hour timeout, or put them in a timeout. You know what I'm saying? Then I put them in a timeout because I was told to. But I do want to have that conversation with different mods, like what you've been through as a mod, for somebody who, like myself, before I ever became a content creator. What, like Dr. LaShawn, I'd love to have her up here. I love her to death. RNY. If you could reach out to her and tell her I do want to do that. I'm gonna set up a date and time and put it on my community wall. But I do want to have it with people who may not be content creators. They are just a mod, and what they've been through, because think about it. They're not really putting themselves out here like that. They're just moderating. I would love to hear Vibrant, Lowell, and Ron P talk, but they don't really hit links like that.
Ron, people be very interesting. Or even they could be in the chat and participate in the conversation.
Yes, that would be good also, because You know, they're very well respected in my opinion. Ron P
Right.
and Vibrant are very well respected mods in this. They don't really get no mess hardly. I don't think I've ever heard a storyline behind them. The only thing I've ever heard either one of them get their mindset taken for was like, well, you know how some content creators, if you moderate for this person and we're fighting, I don't want you in mess, so I take your mod sick. It's nothing against
RNY
you.
is not a content creator yet.
But see, there, look, RNY, there's another good one if she wants to hit a link when we do it. You know, that's the point of view that I think is also unknown to a lot of people. Is the ones who
Well,
can't
she made
speak about it.
content. She just ain't doing nothing with it. I'm gonna talk that up because see, I can say that she made content. She just ain't over there doing nothing with it because she doing 850 other thousand other things. But she made content. I get content in my inbox all the time because I'm spoiled like that. But she got content. I need that. Speaking of that, I need that gnocchi. I always pronounce it wrong. Gnocchi. I'm gonna do like the Italians. I need that soup recipe because I'm about to. Then I need one for that tortellini too because I seen some fresh tortellini that look so good at the damn what was I at, Publix or Sprouts, one of them anyway. But I need some soups. While I get my inbox happy, I need some soups. And you know I gotta be snatched by November the 12th for my graduation.
Oh, congratulations!
Yes, I'm finishing my business program and I will be posting. One person did. Now I sound like I'm content crazy when they be lying. But somebody did tell me to make me a wish list, but they don't tell me to make one like 800 times. I don't ever ask for nothing. I don't never, like ask for money, raise money for nothing. So, but I was like, the B sector owe me, even my enemies, they have put me through hell. And if I don't get I'm gonna put me this wish list on my backup channel. And when I tell you, I better get it flooded because even if you don't like me, can't nobody say I don't deserve no damn support after all I done been through and all I done supported. If y'all don't get them goddamn Amazon, now see, talking to y'all like this ain't really gonna help, but still, if y'all don't get them goddamn Amazon wish list gone, I better know when y'all done furnish apartments for ungrateful motherfuckers, y'all done bought cars, y'all done paid bills, y'all done bought teeth that still ain't in. And you got a hardworking sister here with my child been going consistently for weeks, devoting hours to this program. I be sector. I better get my goddamn tens. So that.
Not the teeth that's not in.
Right. Y'all, I don't pay. Hell, we don't raise money and pay for a lot of fuck shit. It's my turn. I don't care how much y'all think I'm taking care of, which is y'all over exaggerate that based on bizarre other people just be having fun with y'all. I am not rich. I have to work. I just happen to wait for a few things in life. Yet I don't have nothing but one child who's, spoiled. So yeah, I've supported people, but I ain't rich by no means. Trust me, I still have to work. And to my definition, not having to work is not nothing that's possible in this economy, child. Because yeah, we could do good, but to build together, I ain't no lazy woman, so I do my part. But do I have to work as hard? And it's because I have an illness or other things, and the man is leading. Hell yeah, y'all should be applauding that. Goddamn, hell yeah. That nigga supposed to go do what he have to do so I can do what I want to do. That's the American dream. Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this: if all
Charlie
of us was
out there
rich,
too. Y'all don't get on Charlie. Charlie the one got the money. See, y'all be coming at the people that's flashy. Now, Charlie need to be the one that y'all go after. Now, Charlie rich. Everybody in Mississippi got land. That's why people used to call out Tracy on her bullshit. That's why they used to say, Tracy, you better quit acting and them people think you homeless. You know you got some people with a property. You can put a trailer or something on. Everybody in Mississippi. These fools be the country millionaires. And honey, that's where I want to be. Like, y'all be down in places like Mississippi. But when I tell you what they could do liquid without like that land properties they be owning, it's some people who can get 7 figures right now. They go property land. They down there with no mortgages. Charlie just told y'all ass that she don't even remember rent. And I listen to what people say, baby. I listen to what people say. I have a beefsteak ear. So don't let the smooth taste fool you, because Charlie's sitting on properties down there, baby.
I'm gonna tell you something. None of us would be here if we were rich, though. Like,
Right.
I live on a budget just like everybody else live on a budget. So when something pops outside my budget, I'm like, oh Lord, sweet baby Jesus, you just got me. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody, if we all was rich up in here, we wouldn't be here. Tell the truth. Those real rich folk, they ain't down here with us. You know what I'm saying? They living their
Because most
best
of the time,
life.
my family money is tied to obligations, and you couldn't be in this kind of look like that. That's why it's people who got money and family things that y'all will never know the identity for because they got shit to lose. If they are here, baby, they a real mystery. I just say that. I might know a few, but yeah, because they got stuff to lose, and just face it. A lot of the stuff, and we had to explain it to when you have family money. Is you. That's one thing I'm kind of glad my family broke because I'm not we're doing well for themselves. Let me not, my mom, them hardworking nurse. Let's not act like that. But I'm just saying, on a big level. My family broke because when you got family money like that, it be expectations. Or when you got money with people or you got partners and business partners, there's expectations. They would be shocked at some of the stuff that we are. I don't even want real people in my life that could really help me with some of my problems over here if I want to go a certain right, know about the extent. Because it kind of look a little, girl, what you been doing? It's like a little guilty little secret. So people who got a lot of money, that comes with responsibility.
Well, I'm gonna say this. A lot of people think, just because you have a property or something, you got money like that. No, it also depends on where you live in because some places are cheaper. The way we got our property with no mortgages, he sold his house up there and we paid for the one down here, right? It's not because we rolling it. You know what I mean? But that's the way it happens sometimes. Like you have to put yourself on
Charlie,
a
whatever.
budget.
If you liquidated them properties, you would be what, but because we gonna believe in passing it on in generations, we not gonna do it. Where we from, they so important, and because something that's happened in my family has let go of some things, and actually to other family members, I'm gonna make sure my aunts and stuff like that, I'm gonna bring that back because we as a country people, especially, have always known that land ownership is the best thing. So I'm trying to hopefully pick that back up where it's kind of got messed up in my family. But y'all in Mississippi really believe in it. Like, look at your situation too. So you ain't gonna never liquidate those unless you really, really have to, because you know what that generational wealth mean. But if you did liquidate those, you would be fluid for a while. But yeah, you're right. It comes from property taxes. A lot of times, family property. When you get it, they don't live that their whole life. It need work. I'm about to go do a project here. My husband's like, not that I'm not, saying that I'm not proud of, what she's able to do, but when they get older, they don't feel like a lot of stuff. So when you get it, a lot of times it's gotta be work done because it's time, depending on how old they are. So then there's money tied up too, because if you don't sell that, then it's more than just, yeah, it is a lot of responsibility, but liquidating it, yeah. And that's why people don't hold on to it, because that liquidation, what you would have in your bank, but then when you look around and that's gone because life happens, you still ain't got property too. Because the way I feel about it, hell, if nothing else, I can always throw me a trailer on something and not be homeless.
Well, see, that's why you try to keep it, even if
Right.
you having the hardest time you've had. You know what I'm saying? You try to keep that because that's what you pass on. That's your legacy to your children, to your family. That's your family's legacy at that point. It may look like you got money or something on paper, but it really ain't, telling you the truth, because when you own properties, you got to pay to own them properties. You got to pay them land taxes. You got to keep the upkeep. That stuff ain't cheap. You know what I'm saying? And so people think you got when you don't. Like you really don't. Like people say they got 2 or 3 or 4 cars, right? That looks pretty on paper. But when you realize you have to pay the insurance on every one of them cars, you got to pay for the registration. Some states still have inspection stickers. We don't. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay all those things out for that. They don't realize that, yes, Passive, right? He got 2 cars, a nice house. He still has to pay taxes on that. He still has to pay for that, the insurance on them vehicles. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And
So,
every time something happens and you reach into that equity because life happens, people don't realize it's called a HELOC, because I do these for my notary. It's a home equity loan. So not only are you having to, but having a house helps you though for situations other people may crumble for. So that's also, worth it. But when you pull from that, you got to be like, oh, you can pull from the equity in your aunt's house, do that. Yeah, and that's probably what I'm going to do because it just makes the most sense to play with money like that. You don't take all the cash you got, but that's because I don't have no mortgage. There's no deed. But when people still have a mortgage and then they house need repairs and they know apartment complex coming in to fix that, and you get a home equity, you got to pay that back in your house note. It ain't free money.
oh, that's
So
like when I have
yeah.
to put money into my property, if something goes wrong, I got to pay for it out of pocket.
Hmm. And them calls,
So
like me, I'm so spoiled, used to having apartments and things like that because I didn't marry until my 30s. That's why I never wanted a house. And if I did, but it came to a point where it's like, okay, you need to buy something. But that's before I got married and I started doing something else. When I was doing Bell Southwest sales and well, it was AT&T then. They was like, okay, so I was looking at a townhouse or something because it just became, made sense to do it. But I never wanted that. My son to have my husband today and I didn't have no property. Child, I already told him he knew I would be somewhere in some apartment building. Probably a lot of stores around it because I like noise and he love the country. No yard because I don't like maintenance. Trust me, I can call somebody or have some kind of maintenance in a condo or something like that because it's not the same. When you have plumbing issues, you got to go have somebody. That's why I use shade trees for a lot of stuff too. We know people that know people. But when you call them companies or something like that, you got to get the estimate. Then they got to come out there. And then ain't no such thing as they got to fix your heat or whatever because it's certain temperature. It's a rule like apartments. Baby, nah, they'll get to you when they get to you. And you going to
your sound went out, Demiso.
have responsibility.
There you are.
But yeah. Oh, you had rent is dead money, invest in your own. Yeah, you can always rent out properties that and that's a headache too, but at least you got it. I just be looking at it for like making sure like my daughter would never be homeless. Like I said, you can get a house in the box and throw that thing on the land. Hell, now people redecorating vans and they be looking them little tiny houses. If you had to, but at least you got some land to put it on. And when you get older, them property taxes you get discounted. So,
They have when you have, I think it's under 2 acres, anything over that, I think it's a little over that, they have something called crap, I know the name of, my grandmother had it before she passed. Now I pay in the taxes now, but she had it. It's exempt taxes basically, where you don't pay
right.
nothing. And
Hmm.
it's a tax exemption that elderly people get. And
Right.
I'm gonna say this for anybody out there: homestead exemption. Thank you, Jay Dunn. If in case, even when you're younger, if you meet the criteria, you could still get homestead exemption. You just have to file out for it and see if you do or if you don't.
Right. It just makes sense. Like I say, I don't have to be little fabulous. Like I would be content with small. I don't like to clean up, and like I would get me a tiny house. I can tell my daughter shit. Sometimes your dad, should I put me a tiny house over here? You can maintain a house. I don't need much space or whatever. But the point is, ain't nobody coming to put you out. But like if the plumbing ain't right, that's on you. And you're gonna have to do some things, extreme things. You gotta have out the money out at once. You can't, and it ain't nobody else. So it's a two-way street with that. But I still believe it's worth it because land is wealth. I mean, it is what it is, and that's what I'm gonna try to push and make it to do what I can do before I pass, as much as I can do to reverse some things that's been done and keep and hold on to things that we have. So if my daughter, whatever, like I said, does something, it's on you because you can't say you ain't been left with somewhere to start. I didn't have that foundation. That wasn't done for me. Just different. So these kids now, if you let it go, that's all it is to it because you can't never say you wasn't provided for because you got land and that's more than I had and well I got it now but I'm just saying that's a gift that's beyond to make sure that you never homeless again.
I will tell everybody something. If in case, let's say your rent's 300 a month or 400 a month, 5, 6, 700 a month. Let's say you do move to a property and you have a mortgage, right? And you pay that mortgage off like you just did not long ago, Demiso. Save back what you would normally pay on that mortgage in a bank account. And let me explain to you why. Let's say that something happens to your property. Let's say you have a huge thing that happens, the hot water heater goes out, or the electrical needs updating, or something like that. That money you can then put back into the house, pay for the property taxes, and it's not going to hit you all at once. Because what a lot of people don't do is prepare for when hard times hit. And they will hit, baby. Because I came from being dirt poor. When I say dirt poor, baby, I was dirt poor, child. Ramen was my best friend. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't rich now, but I'm okay. I'm living. You know what I'm saying? I got food in my stomach and a roof over my head. But I ain't rich by no imagination. Because things that look pretty on paper ain't always what it is in real life. Because you got bills to pay and you got, things that you got to keep up with. Like we have a well, right? If that well something goes wrong with it, guess what? We got to pay it. We got to fix it. So, you can't always depend on what you see. Like, if you're doing good right now, next week you might not be doing so good, right? Like, my budget got a little messed up last week because my dog got sick. Thought we were gonna have to take him to the vet. You know what I'm saying? We had to buy medications that was real expensive, and that came out of pocket. You know what I mean? Also, y'all can get pet insurance if you didn't know it at a lot of places. I'm just saying, like, a lot of veterinarians do offer what they call pet insurance, but that's only if you can afford it every month. I can't. So, it just comes down to, pets are a lot to take care of too, just like children. Like me having a kid, where do you think most of the money goes to? Miss O, the Miss O, where most of your money go to? Your kid.
Yeah. Cause it's now, especially now that my child is getting older, it's it's my needs, and so we gonna do the whole nail shop now. That kind of stuff as much like I do. It'd be a treat more so, but it's my needs times two. When you turn into a little woman or whatever, everything I need is times two. That's what I tell my husband, like, cause I usually take my money more so stuff for my daughter or whatever, and so I be like, yeah, and I be telling him, you always say you ain't got no money. I say, yeah, cause it's what I need times two at this point. Now it ain't the same thing but she still loves the Dollar Tree and like simpler things because I don't really do a lot of spoiling. My mom mostly does that. So we have lower expectations. But yeah, they always want something. And with school comes expenses and everything, like I said, they growing. So it's basically you times two because I let myself go if my daughter needs something. Yeah.
Well, that's like me with my son, right? Even though it's different because he's a boy, he has like needs and stuff like I give to him before I ever give to myself. I've sat there and done without in the past to make sure he didn't even know we were struggling. You know what I'm saying? He know nothing.
I get frustrated with my daughter, but I be thinking, well, you can't really blame her because you do make it seem seamless or like, cause she really grateful and really sweet. But it's times, they all get how they gonna be. But I be like, well, you can't really blame her for like kind of you give her choices. You don't include her in decision. You ask her, you let her have these things. I used to think it was cute, but then now that she expected or likes those things, I'm thinking I don't want to create the monster. It's like, oh, look at Chloe's cute. She at Starbucks too, and then she start asking for the same things. I'm like, it's kids who, and I'm thinking, yeah, but you help do that. So it's like you proud of like what you can do for your kids, but you just have to keep them more in balance. But like with a boy, it's the same thing. I mean, he's in school. They be wanting, even they don't ask for stuff. Cause my daughter don't ask for stuff a lot, but it's they want to have certain things like the other kids, and then to try to even be in school functionally, they need the internet. So if you want to let that go here, because I'll be content with my phone. But you got to keep a lot of that stuff when they be in school. That's what men don't understand too with that whole child support thing. I wish Conscious Energy could have had a better discussion about that. Maybe that'll be a different discussion, but y'all gonna be adding up their other bills. Yeah. Rent, you wouldn't have to have a 2-bedroom. You wouldn't have to have, you could go without a lot of things. But if the woman did that, they would say, oh, look at you over there not providing. Women are looked at like, oh, you don't have it in there. Your mom, what's your mama doing? If you with your mama, they like, that's the first thing. What your mama doing? Or why your mama ain't got this for you? That's what the school want to know. So yeah, it's a lot because I would downgrade a lot. I just need my little phone, child, right here. And I don't even need the phone I got. I'd be happy with one of them damn Verizon plans from Walmart because I used to have that.
Same. I didn't even have a phone for a while before I had my kid. I didn't have one at all. I didn't need it. Like the people who I wanted to see came see me. You know what I mean? So I didn't even have one. But when you have a kid, you got to pay that phone bill because all the doctors gonna be calling your phone. You know what I'm saying? To set up everything, you got to make sure that you can, do this and next thing. Like even when I was dirt poor, I was paying for internet, and it was it used to be. I'm gonna say this right now. I used to have satellite internet because where I lived, they done upgraded us now to fiber. But at that time, I was paying the most expensive prices for something that half worked. It worked half the time. Because if a cloud came up the wrong way, I ain't had no internet. If it was raining, I ain't had no internet. You know what I'm saying? That stuff worked half the time when it wanted to, and I was paying the most outrageous prices.
Oh, I remember that satellite internet. When I was working for AT&T, we used to call that like the farmer's internet.
I had that. They sit there and tell you that's the fastest internet. What is it, HughesNet? That stuff ain't the fastest internet. No, it ain't. And it is hard being responsible, King ABC. I'm gonna tell you something, because them bills hit every first of the month, baby, and they don't play. Like I had to start paying for StreamYard. You know what I'm saying? And I thank God for anybody who sent me a cash app, because baby, that's what helped pay for the StreamYard. Y'all don't realize it's hard out here for a pimp.
Did anybody tell you about that essentials thing? If you try to cancel them, that's cheaper, right? That's what I was doing at the end.
That's what Lolo was telling me, and I'm gonna probably do that after this time and see if they'll give me a
What you
cheaper
do
way.
is go through it like you finna cancel it, and they'll offer it to you.
That's what I'm probably gonna do because that's $44 a month. Shoot, I don't pay that much. I don't pay that much sometimes for my own self, much less for a StreamYard. Lord have mercy. Like people don't understand. That's what's helped. Like I did help somebody out. I ain't gonna say nothing about that situation the other day, but I don't have it like that. Like they think I do, but I don't. I ain't rich. I ain't got that kind of money.
Yeah,
Shoot.
unfortunately, the Cash App game is so weird how it works. They feel like certain people don't need it, but then I think people like to feel like they helping somebody out that's less fortunate than them, or I don't know. The way people Cash App is kind of strange to me because you're still putting on the program no matter what you have or don't have. Because these big content creators get all this cash ups and stuff, and they be showing y'all lavish trips to islands and stuff, and they still get donations for their content. It's not about how much personal money you think the person has, but people cash up and super chat for different reasons. It's like a whole psychology behind it, y'all.
Oh, and I found out what was going on with my membership thing. I got to do a few more lives. Pretty much, they're not counting the live views from my music videos. So I have to have a few more live views on my lives because they count in my
Like any
lives.
video
Yeah.
things, they don't count that as your watch hours.
Yeah, they don't count music for memberships, but now they do it for super stickers and ads and all that. But like where I do my covers, they do not count those as live views for your memberships.
See, I thought
And,
when you got monetized, period, you just automatically got membership.
child, they got all these criterias and all this
Yeah,
stuff you
YouTube
got to go
changing.
through.
Hmm.
So I emailed them because I did, and I finally got a response back, and that was my response.
Well, at least they responded.
That's true because there was a one time years ago I had another channel and it got taken for no reason. And I tried to, which recently I did retry to do them because they said they did take a lot of channels back in the day for no reason, right? But they said they still ain't gonna let me have that old one back. But they gave me an automated response when I tried to email them back then. When that person doxed me, there was another person I had reported it, right? They gave me an automated response back then. I will say this for the people who are monetized versus non-monetized, they do get back to monetized channels before they do unmonetized. I saw that as a thing. The monetized channels do get. Ooh, you got some. Yeah, Miss. Oh, I
Yeah,
don't know
that
what's
was
going on.
me. That's my alarm. Hold on.
Oh, okay, it's your alarm. But yeah, like so I have seen that as a thing. I don't know if y'all have too. That monetized channels, they will get back to you quicker, because you're a part of the partner program versus someone who's not a partner or not partnered. Even if you try to report something, sometimes you'll just get back automated responses. It's crazy. But they do be on their stuff. They got back to me fairly quickly. Um And they told me why. I'm like, well, shoot, I just got to do a few more lives then. That's all I got to do, to get to the 3K that they want for memberships.
So they want
That's
three
that.
thousand watch hours for memberships.
Mm-hmm. They want 3,000 watch hours for memberships, 4,000 for the ads and stuff. So I did get my ads and I did get my super chat. So those are open, but I have to wait till I get 3K live views on my regular lives. So I don't know how long that's gonna take. Gotta get
Quicker
them
than
watch
you
hours.
realize, child. Quicker than you realize.
I ain't over here pulling numbers like some of the bigger names in the sector, because I ain't messy enough.
Yeah, you just need a couple like classic lives to get you on the way. I think that moderator one would really be good though. I think having that soon as you can will definitely Now, and once people see other people doing it, they'll probably want to come. Like, since you make it an ongoing thing, they'll probably like people start popping out when they see other familiar faces pop out.
Yeah, I'd love to see a lot of the mods that don't click links pop up because, I mean, even if they only stayed for a few seconds, they don't have to show their face or nothing. You know what I'm saying? They can have a blank picture if they want to. You know what I'm saying? They can have a picture of the color of the sky. But to be able to hear their point of view of what they go through as a moderator would be amazing to me. I mean, like, I would love to have some of the more controversial mods pop up. You know what I'm saying? And tell their story. So yeah, that's what I call it. Is Mod Monday. That's why I kind of name it messy mod. It's Messy Monday, Mod Monday, and Mystery Monday. The reason so is if a mod don't pop up, right? Then there's other topics we could talk about too. That way, it's not just, oh, I'm not going to do a show because nobody wanted to pop up. You know what I mean? But I am going to set that up, Moderator Monday. I'm going to put it on my community wall. I'm going to advertise it all this week. And I'm going to try to get some folks up here for this next Mod Monday. I would like to hear more from the mods, even myself as a fellow moderator. Because, like, you know me, I've always tried to take up for the other mods in the sector. I'm like, you know, we like mod brothers and sisters over here. We all go through it, you know? Even if our two content creators are fighting and we not supposed to be cool with each other, you know what I'm saying? I don't believe in that because, like, it ain't your fault. They ain't got nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? We just moderating. Like I told Miss Davna, I would love to hear her come up and pop up. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with no other person. Technically, I don't have any problems with nobody on this app, really, if you think about it. I ain't really started no mess with
Well, you know
nobody.
it's your association too, child.
I already know. But, you know, they got to get over that. They got to get over that because it ain't going nowhere.
That's the thing. That's another interesting topic because you're completely different than the person that you known to mob for.
We are different in a lot of ways. And the thing is, I respect her and she respects me for our differences, right? She knows I'm not messy. I'm not salacious. I'm not these things, right? She accepts me for me. She always has. That's one of the reasons why everybody's always asked me why my loyalty lies with her. And I've said this multiple times and I'll say it again. When I first came in this sector, right? And I was going to different chats and different things and trying to learn the sector, right? She was the first person who actually reached out and wanted to get to know me. She was the first person who looked on my channel. See, these people didn't even know, a lot of the content creators didn't even look in to see my channel and gave me advice on my singing and tried to help me in any way they could. She was the first person to do that. So, and when I wanted
How
to
long
do
you been
this,
modding for VS? Because I had a conversation the other day offline, and I was just thinking about it, and I was like, damn. If you think about it, you know, Charlie is like the relationships I thought would definitely be there before you, or that would be left standing from like the old crew. I was like, Charlie been rocking with VS without no kind of problem. People say everybody go through there, don't leave unscathed, and the jury is still out. But I was like, Charlie done rocked through even people who may even been closer with her that she trusts in a different capacity, you know, and maybe recently they've had differences, you know, partner ways. It may be not as messy, but I said there has to be something because the way VS is keen on her decision making and she don't really explain. And I was like, if you think about it, like I've never heard of any about to be on the firing block or you know you doing too much as a mind. That's like so for something is going on for that way that it works because she's never had Charlie act there to make it seem like she was moving funny or nothing like that.
I have been her moderator since before she came out with the TSCC Mess Express.
Okay, wow.
I can't remember the exact year, but when I first came in, it was when she had her original crew, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was one of the people they had to tell to go to the clouds. And then I was just staying around and showed my loyalty, and I got a mod stick, and I've been a mod ever since. We've never had a a problem, and if we did, you know what I'm saying, we talk it out. Like, I'm not that person that just causes mess. I stay back to myself a lot, you know? And that's why a lot of people who were in this sector were like, who's Charlie? Because I didn't cause any mess. I wasn't a part of no things.
Right.
I even had Miss 313. I love her to death, right? She was like, is you this person? Because, you know, we've had a lot of white people in the sector. Is you this person? I'm like, nope, that's not me. Nope, that's not me either.
A lot of people think you Shar.
Yeah, me and Shar are not the same person. Also, Char's a black lady. I'm white.
Right.
So
I
I'm like,
used to
no.
say.
And it was funny that the people have mixed us up before in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people at first thought, you know, we had Sweet Home Alamanda.
Oh, I remember.
Some people thought I might have been her at first. Then some people thought that I was just Andrea. I mean, not just Andrea, but Andrea's Destiny, because there's a difference between the two. But and then some people, even I had somebody ask me if I was Misty. I'm like, no, don't even put me in that boat.
Oh, hell no. You better run away. Hell no. You better correct that ASAP.
I
Cause that
sure did
dingbat.
too.
That dingbat, I tell you. That's Brooks' mess over there, child.
I was like, nah, I ain't none of them people, because they couldn't
BS
figure
wouldn't have
out who I
tolerated
was.
Misty for long, child. I think Misty did. She get on
She
her nerves because
did.
she was trying to get on. I remember when she came back. Yeah.
She was over there for a minute, but she didn't last that long.
I knew that wouldn't work out, child.
And I was like, you know, if I had, like the Hood Table said this before, if I had been one of those people, right, they would have cursed me out and told me to go on about my merry way, right? But I don't really. That's why a lot of people don't remember me from the past. Because first off, I had a different account than this one. It wasn't Charlie Sending Love. It was just Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
It was Charlie 87. That was the name. And I was over there just chilling. And because that account's gone, a lot of times in those chats, if there are replays, it ain't gonna show up that I was even there sometime unless somebody else was talking to me, because the account's gone. Right. But people was like, which one were you? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, because I didn't get in no mess. That's why people don't remember me. I was never in any scandal like that. You know, and my internet may or may not have saved my life back in the day because it was terrible. I might have said something stupid back in the day. You never know. You know what I mean? Like, I just
Plus,
stayed.
if somebody give you feedback, unlike that Misty, like she decided to die on that hill, that shit was doomed from the start. But like with the whole, you know, Color Purple catastrophe show, and I knew how that was gonna go from the moment I heard you go open, and I already had said, Nina, I'm leaving, because I already knew what they was going to do in that damn chat. But you took it really good. You didn't try to argue. You just kept on. You know, you just said, hey. And a lot of people were saying, but we watched Charlotte and her intent, and I don't think she was coming from a place, because it's you can take education when you don't think somebody is coming from a malicious place, and you trying to tell them, you know, why that ain't a good idea. So I felt like you handled that very well, way better than I probably would have, because I was like, Lord, I knew this was finna, they was just finna wait. And I said, Lord Jesus, I knew what that chat was gonna do, including my bestie. But it worked out, and I feel like that you stood in it. And because of how you've been treating people, people are more willing to not hold that against you when you come at people a different way. Misty's situation was completely different.
She did something she should have never did. She's stupid. I mean, I'm gonna say this: if she had been in a real place and not on the internet, she would have got hit upside the head.
Oh,
Times.
definitely. Her mouth, everything. Yeah, she got that mouth toe out.
That's how you can tell that she didn't really grow up around the culture. That she joined it after the fact.
And then saying, you know, what her man give her permission to do. Child, that was a whole scandal.
Cause I'm gonna tell you this: I've seen that person like her get beat upside the head.
I bet you have. I bet you have. I know for a fact you done seen some of them wolf tickets get cashed.
I have. I would be sitting up there in the corner going, "Ooh." Ooh, they gonna get her. Like you been that, you know that person that's always over in the corner that don't bother nobody. It's just like, ooh, they just get got. That was me.
Hmm.
That
You
was me.
always that person, and I'm the person sitting in the middle, be like, "Ooh, let me pull out, let me film it." Or baddest man hit my hand. See, that's why I stay in shit. You the smart one in the back, getting all the tea but staying low key.
I was over there in the corner going, ooh, see, the sheep is to get beat up. Ooh, let me watch this.
Yes, baby, that's the safest place to be, honey. Ignorance is bliss. I still ain't learned that lesson, child. But I gotta get off here, Charlie. I done spent way this time, but it's easy to talk to you for a long time. I gotta go do my Zoom for my program so y'all can have a reason to get on my wish list. Not you, Charlie. I'm talking to all the people who done put me through something, and I will have something for every price point on there. All the way from, because I'm a social worker, so I have something all the way from $5, and I won't go over 50 because I just appreciate the notice. I'm gonna have more fun setting the list up than what I would get out of it. So, therefore, be looking out for it on my backup channel and be looking out for our competition. And Charlie, I would love for Jay Dunn. Jay Dunn, come back one day. Charlie, feel like bringing it back up because I would really like to have a panel discussion, like from the like. I'm gonna get caught up on that trial and like talk about that landfill case.
We might talk about it this Thursday because, I always, one of the reasons why I try to wait on those cases to get a little further in is so that
Mm-hmm.
we can get, what the jury says and whether we believe, or we agree with it or not,
Yeah,
what their
that's
decision
true.
is.
Because I don't think it's gonna take them long for this case, but I want to get caught up too. So I'm gonna look at it later on when I'm at the gym. I think I'm gonna listen to all the little. Is it on Law and Crime or anything? Because I want to get like a breakdown.
Yes, it
Okay,
is.
okay,
Let
I'm
me,
gonna go to Law and Crime while I'm at the gym, and I'll be ready for tomorrow.
it's the Lillian, what, didn't I say her name earlier? Dang,
Yeah,
I done forgot
I
her
know that. Yeah,
name.
I got her history from the thing I looked it up yesterday on YouTube. So I got something with her name in it from the other video I looked. But I want to watch like a legal breakdown.
Oh yeah, that's
Mhm.
gonna get good. I can't wait until they do more to see what had happened was.
And I know
See,
her
I
stupid
just
butt
see
ain't
what
gonna
had
get on the
happened was.
thing. She'll be a fool. She ain't gonna testify because they are always the defense. Something like that, they always tell the defense attorney always tell you. I mean, you got rights, but they always pretty much tell you there's no situation where you should click the link. So I doubt we gonna get her to be cross-examined.
Yeah, I don't think it would be in her best interest for her to
Hell
jump on that
no.
stand.
Mm-mm. If she want to stay in the sympathy of anybody that might have half a little bit of her and spare her life, there is no way she should get that stand because any prosecutor would eat that up, child. I would love to have at her for lunch. But yeah, okay. Well, I'm gonna get caught up and go to my Zoom, child. Y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all in the street.
By me, the Miss O, and thank you for
Bye
coming up.
bye. Oh,
I
you're
dropped
welcome.
I dropped your back up again so people can subscribe.
Thank you.
Bye, love. So, basically, yeah, with that kerfuffle, that had see what had happened was in retrospect, I was never a part of any of the mess. I tried to stay away from it because I'm a non-confrontational person unless you push me to be. So I don't like to try to start mess. And even with the situation where I sang the song and everything, I took what everybody said to heart because I am the person that does not like to hurt anybody. I don't like doing that. That's not me. Like that's not in my heart. And for somebody that has grew up in this, in predominantly black spaces for most of my life, right? For most of my life, I never wanted to offend or hurt anybody because I saw how people were hurt and done by other people. I didn't ever want to be that person. So I said it then and I mean it now. I just, in my opinion, I didn't even know. Somebody had to tell me that I thought the lady who sung that song was the lady who actually sung that song. I found out it's a whole nother lady that actually sings that song. And I love that song. And when I come from it, I come from a place of love. You know what I'm saying? I didn't come from no place of trying to hurt nobody or offend nobody or, do any of that stuff. That's just not me. That's not who I am. I didn't grow up that way. My mom and daddy taught me to love somebody and treat somebody as good as they treat you until somebody treats you bad, right? Like give respect and get it. Like I still say yes ma'am and no ma'am to people who are younger than me. And I mean younger than me. I get in trouble sometimes for saying ma'am to people, and I don't mean to, but it's just a respect thing where I grew up. You know what I'm saying? We say yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir to everybody. So I came from a place of give respect to get respect kind of situation. And like I give it out, and then if you disrespect me, I may not speak to you no more. Right? And I ignore stuff. Hey Corio, my love. Now, I will say that you've been the topic a little bit, Miss Corio, in a lot of commentary over the last couple of days. Because of the Friday situation. And I had to explain to people, where he tried to put the big C word on you, that's not, and you've said multiple times that's not, you know what I'm saying? I love my choreo and my hood table. They know that. Um, I had to explain to him the situation. I didn't tell him everything because it's your story to tell. I just said she had surgery. That's why her voice sounded like that. Don't put that C word on her. She don't need that C word. No, we don't wish that on nobody. I don't wish that on my worst enemy, and much less a friend, someone that I actually care about. You know what I'm saying? But I will say that now, Corio, you get to watch, him and K Fit going back and forth, and now him and Lemon are at it. So, you might get you some good chuckles or whatnot. Hey, Miss Diane, um, you might get you some good chuckles out of this, Miss Corio. Uh, so you can sit back, put your feet up. But yeah, Corio, you've spoke about it multiple times on the reason that you talk the way you talk is because you had surgery and they nicked your vocal box, and that's why you talk the way you talk. You've said it multiple times. I'm guessing people just ain't paid attention or watched because I've watched it. Yeah, him and Lemon are going at it now, Corio. Because okay, so I said it earlier, but I'll say it again for you. So some trolls in the chat was going at it with Rodney. He had a mod stick over at Lemons. Well, he jumps up on Lemons and says to take his mod stick. And they got into it, and Lemon took his mod stick and said, I have nothing but to respect when you tell me to take your mod stick. Right? And so he took his mod stick. Well, Rodney's upset about it. So he did a live this morning. And I didn't get to catch it all, but he did a live this morning talking about it. So I'm gonna go back and watch that. But basically, I said basically that, and I've stated this: when you moderate, you have to take your personal feelings out of it. Now, I'm not saying that another, like you remember that time, Corio, that one troll was trying to get you in chat. You didn't block them. I did, if you remember correctly. Sometimes certain content creators are like, you ain't gonna attack my mods, right? And that's the way the hood table's like, you ain't gonna attack her mods, right? And her people. That just ain't the way it's gonna go. That's the same thing with Lolo. Lolo's the same way with her moderators. She ain't gonna let nobody attack her moderators in her chat. Like, you can have a disagreement, but not attacking wise, right? And I took care of that one. I remember. And then they came back on 3 different troll pages, and I took care of all 3 of those. Why? Because that's what, when you ask, hey, do you want me to block them? And the content creators say, yeah, then you block them. That's what you do, Hey, the hood table. Hey, girl.
Hey, Charlie, what's up? Go ahead.
Girl, I love the way you can authenticate on here sometimes. You don't have to put up the thing when you know for sure. I always check that authentication first before I throw somebody up there, though, because you got that troll that be like to be you in chats. But yeah, no, Rodney and Lemon are into it now, so that's a new storyline that's starting. I don't know what Lemon's gonna say tonight when he comes back, because he was trying to be respectful last night when he was talking about it, the way I heard. He didn't really get, I mean, he got a little bit into it, but not really. But because Rodney did that live this morning, it's gonna get worse by tonight. So yeah, it's gonna get rough.
You know what? I started watching Lemon. I made an attempt, child. I made an attempt like I always do with him, and I had put him on around 10 whenever he came on. And I made an attempt to try to at least stay woke a few hours. It didn't happen. I woke up to use the restroom probably around 1, 2. He was still on the computer sitting right in front of my face. And then I got back in the bed, tried to watch again, fell asleep. I just can't stay with them all those hours. But I'll try to go back and red ball,
It's
or if I
about
hear people say like timestamps, I'll go back, but they just be too long on the
I'll
website.
try to get you the timestamps because also Diva Tomboyish and Lemon are into it.
I think I heard something about that in between me waking up and going back to sleep. Something about Diva, Tomboy. I don't know what's going on, but I did hear her name mentioned.
Well, basically, see what happened was in retrospect, Diva was getting up there talking about the Rodney situation because they were talking about Rodney and how he was upset that his mod stick got taken, even though he's the one that wanted his mod stick taken. And Diva Tombush came up there to talk about it, and then her and Lemon got into it. And I can't really explain why they got into it per se. It was almost Lemon was talking about something that she had talked about where she was trolling him in the past and talked about his clown shoes or something and his 2 left feet. And then they started going back and forth, and he said, "This is beef sector business. It ain't got nothing to do with you." And then Diva said, "Who in the beef sector is going to stand with you when I go to play in my games?" And we know what Diva gives and what she does.
I think I did hear something about him saying something about her not being B sector. I gotta go back. If you get the timestamps, or maybe do what's that guy named Ron P? Does he give like the timestamps for Lemon? I know he does it for a lot of CCs just because he wants to. But
Well, he sometimes finds it hard to do Lemons because he's
they
not
all
up
over the
all
place.
night. Yeah, and he's also not up all night, so
Right.
he misses a lot of it, and it's a lot to go back through because
Mhm.
Lemon's lives are sometimes 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours. That's like I try to catch it before I go live in the morning because I'll
Mhm.
go to bed and I'll maybe catch 30 minutes before I go to sleep if I catch anything at all.
Mhm.
Depends on what time he goes live. And then I'll try to catch it in the morning, but I'm trying to do that thing where you skip over some parts, you watch some parts, so you miss some things and you don't intentionally do it. It's just you're trying to get to the meat and potatoes, see, the beefs and what starts and where and
Yeah, because with Lemon's panel, like me and a lot of other people as content creators, when we do panels, especially if we know we're gonna have different discussions, we'll start off like discussing one thing. We're like, okay, anybody else got anything to say? Okay, we're gonna go to the next, and then we go to the next, and then to the next, and then maybe at the end, everybody just chime in on everything. But with Lemon, you don't ever know from 5 minutes from now, 15 minutes from now, what they're gonna be talking about. So it is kind of hard to keep up, and that's why a lot of his views he get like during his lives, because trying to catch the replay unless somebody give you the timestamp is like, oh my God. And then they be hours and hours long. So while you trying to watch them 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hour lives, you missing a whole bunch of other lives. So yeah, I just be looking for the timestamps. But I just wanted to chime in before I get back to work about the mods and the beefing with the mods,
yeah.
timing out and all that kind of shit. Now, I have always said, like most people can agree with, that if you have like a personal issue with somebody, if they're not bothering you in the chat, don't be just blocking them, timing them out just because you don't like them. But if they are like constantly bothering you in the chat, then hey, it is what it is. Now, there are certain situations where there are people who have been having long-standing beefs and they just don't get along. And it's just what it is. They on site. Like, for example, one day I was I had a live and Bree and Deanna was getting into it. And Deanna's my girl. She my girl, on and off Facebook, on and off YouTube, and my mind. So her and Bree was going back and Bree on the panel. She in the chat, then Deanna get up on the panel. That's their thing. You know what I mean? That's different. But like for instance with Corio and what's his name?
Rodney.
With Corio and Rodney, I told her before, if he's going at you or somebody going at you being disrespectful, do what you gotta do in the chat. But as far as Rodney is concerned, after that incident where she got on him about the side eyes dropping down like that, he started coming in the chat, hey, the hood table, shout out to the host, things like that. He didn't bother her, she didn't bother him. That shit didn't turn back up until the other day when he dropped down in the chat, I'm going back in the clouds. Now, again, I didn't know who that person was. I had been seeing Pinocchio in other people's chats, and I'm not those chat watchers who can distinctly tell who somebody is if they under a troll page by how they talk or what they say. Or, I don't be doing all that. Corio can tell you. She like, girl, be all in the chat. The T be all in the chats. And I'm like, I don't be reading no chats. I can't keep up while I'm trying to watch.
Corio or you did not know who he was
We had
until
no idea.
I said it. I had to say it out of my mouth. I was like, that's Rodney. And the only reason y'all don't know that is he has hit a few links, right? Under the Pinocchio page. He's hit Lemons and he's hit Jay Wilson's. That's the reason I knew it. I wouldn't have known it neither. It was because he was because you don't watch Lemon all the time because the lives are so long, right?
And he'd be up late and I'd be asleep.
Yeah. So he was dropping that as his backup. That's the only reason I knew that. I figured when Corio was saying, I said, I bet you 101 Corio don't know who that is, and neither does the table right now.
Yeah, and I hear you, Diana. There are some CCs that just allow their mods to do what they want in the chat. That's not cool either. But I also see CCs that be saying, leave them alone, leave them alone. They be talking to the chat too. Leave them alone, leave them alone. Let everybody hang in the chat, long as you don't get disrespectful. And that's pretty much how I am. If you're not being disrespectful, then there's no reason for a mod to just, attack you with the stick. But some people just be doing too much in the chat. And, I don't know. But yeah, as far as Rodney though, I really, honest to God, like he was saying on that panel the other day, on everything I love, I didn't, he believes that Corio knew that the Pinocchio person was him he kept saying her response because she said, boy, you ain't got to announce what you are doing. And I don't know if he should take that as a reason to believe that, because the name Pinocchio, it got a man picture or a boy picture on it. So she could have been just like, boy, I'm sure if it had a girl picture on it, she probably would have said, girl, you ain't got to announce. But, I just hope that is squashed after this because it's really dumb. I mean, and like people were saying last night about him, they was naming all the females that he done got into it with. And it's just crazy. All the women that he's got into it with.
Well, I've said it before that he needs to sometimes take his personal feelings out of it.
Hey, I heard you tell him that yesterday. Hey, Corio, babe.
Hey, babe. I just want to say real quick, had no idea who he was. I don't check for him. I don't check for anyone. But I have seen that every once in a while somewhere. But I never saw him on a panel using that name. I had no idea. What I said, I would have said to anyone. And the reason I said boy, bye, is because Pinocchio is a boy. I wouldn't think that it never dawned on me that a woman or a female would use Pinocchio. That's why I said boy, because Pinocchio is the boy that wanted to become a real boy. That's why I said boy, bye. So I didn't know who he was. I still don't care who he was. I would have said what I said to anyone. And now that I know it was him, I'm really glad I said it. That's all I wanted to say. Sometimes, as far as Diana's comment, I never blocked him, even after all that, even after they said he went over there, struck up a live and cussed you out. At first, I had no idea. Then, once it was said that was him, And Pinocchio, he even came back in the chat after going live and cursing me out. He even came back in the chat and was kicking it. And I still didn't time him out or block him. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know if that comment was geared towards me or just, other mods or mods in general, but I still didn't time him out or anything after he had cursed me out and came back in the chat a few minutes later. I try not to block. I bet you I was a mod in a whole nother sector for years. I bet you I blocked maybe 2 times over there. And that was because they were going at the content creator. And I bet you since I think I've never blocked anyone. No, I blocked one person in Ronnie Q's chat. She asked for him to be blocked. And I think I may have blocked a couple trolls, and they were troll names. And one of them came in and they dropped Jay Wilson's address. Do you guys remember that?
I remember that.
And
Mm-hmm.
I blocked the person, the troll page that dropped Jay Wilson's address in the chat. And I may have blocked another troll. Charlie is the one that will eat your butt up if you come in the chat messing around.
Hell yeah.
Charlie does not play when it comes to that. And I will sometimes call it out and Charlie will hit him. But, she doesn't do that haphazardly. You have to come in the chat messing around, being rude with a messed up name, that's disrespectful. She doesn't do it all willy-nilly either. So I just wanted to come up and say that.
And Miss Diana did say no, Choreo. She was talking about a general
Okay.
observation.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, with Choreo, I mean, like I said, me and Choreo, we are good Judies on and off here. And I know I would have known if she thought that was him. I mean, I would have known.
Yeah,
But that's how I really know that she didn't know, because she would have been like, that nigga and that troll. She
yeah,
would have told me. Like we are very good Judies on
yeah.
and off of here. So for him to say that he knows that she knew that was him, I'm like, nah, she didn't know. She said boy because Pinocchio was a boy. It had a boy picture on it.
Exactly.
I
And
knew y'all didn't know. Like
yeah,
I saw it. I was like, y'all know that's Rodney, right?
yeah, you did, and it was like, what? So, it's
Yeah, and if she seen him in a chat, and she would have told, like we talk all the time, and most of the time we do talk about real life shit too, our families and stuff, like most friends. But we talk a lot about what be going on in the B sector, who said what, where to go, watch this video, watch that, and she would have told me. I'm
yeah,
like, she would have told me,
yeah,
especially after he said something on his panel. She would have been like, I knew that was him. Like, but I know she didn't know.
yeah,
So
and I just, don't understand why he would think I would know. I'm not on here all the time, Charlie, like I used to. I just, it's to me, it's boring, kind of boring now. And like I said, I never saw him on a panel using that name. I only have known him as Rodney as far as his name. But like I said, I didn't know it was him. But now that I do know it was him, I'm very glad I said it. And that's it. That's all. Thank you for having me, Charlie. I hope this doesn't bring you
Child, I will go
any
whoop
mess.
bang for you. You know I will.
I
I love
know,
my
yeah,
but
because
Choreo.
innocent
don't. Yeah, but
bystanders always get hit.
your channel isn't about that. But I did just want to come up and explain. And it's what I heard. He's still over there cussing everybody out.
He's still
So
cussing you out. Yeah.
yeah. So and I haven't even said anything else to him. And is he still going after?
K-Fit?
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually said, stated in yesterday's live, didn't get to watch this morning's, that he didn't have a problem with the hood table, but it was up and stuck with K-Fit.
But see, my thing is, and
Wow.
y'all can tell me how y'all feel about
Uh,
it. But when Corio said, boy, you don't have to announce yourself, it could have been a simple thing as I wasn't trying to say I'm leaving. Like he tried to explain on somebody else's panel. What I meant was I wasn't leaving. I was just I'm still supporting. I'm just in the clouds. I'm still supporting the host. And I'm like, well, why you couldn't have just said that in the
And
chat?
I said that when I hit your panel. I was like, you didn't even have to go curse me out, strike up a whole live to curse me out. You could have just said, it's me, Rodney. All I'm saying is blah, blah, blah. I don't look, we exist. There's a few times we exist in chats without even, we move around each other. That's all he had to say. That's all he had to say. I wasn't trying to give any beef, trying to start up the beef again, because I don't give a dang on. I ain't trying to curse on your panel. I don't care. I don't check for him. So for him to still be over there cursing me out, it's ridiculous. It's very ridiculous because I said what I said and I'm done with it, because to me it just doesn't matter. When I
It's not
told
that
you
important.
it's not, and I told you on numerous occasions, I didn't even know it was you. But in order for you to keep cursing me out, you want to still say I knew it was you and call me old and everything just because of my voice. That's fine. That's fine. But he did wish me death and he wished I would die a couple times.
Oh
And
wow. I
he
didn't know
said,
that because I didn't go watch.
yeah, he said that a couple times. And then yeah, he says I have throat cancer. So and that I'm old because of my voice. And so it is what
Wow.
it is, and I don't really care. I'm not going to go back and forth with him. It just doesn't matter to me. So Charlie, I don't want to keep going on and on. I don't want to get you in any mess. And I love you. And I love you too, Hood Table. And I'm gonna go
Love you
back
too,
down
Boost.
in the chat. Okay.
All right,
That's
babe.
you, Corio. Yeah, Corio, you can
Wow.
always hit my panel. Here's the thing. That's the way my channel is set up. It's like if you got something to say and clear up that somebody done said, clear that mess up. Don't let it keep going to where it grows legs and changes into a whole new story.
Right. And I'm glad you said what you said about excuse me, Corio's now they gonna say something about me because I didn't clear my throat. But but about what happened with the procedure. But she has said that many times, so I know she don't feel some type of way for you to have to repeat that. But a lot of people do think that they make fun or they mock her voice or something like that. And the thing is, like, she has a reason why she's talking like that. It ain't her fault. But we got all kind of people on here sound like the Billy Goat Grubb. So you know what I'm saying? Like they talk about the way I talk. Like Lipstick Alley, they was talking about me, talking about she sound like she got a nose clip on her nose or some stuff. I'm like, I can't help that's how I talk. Like it is
But
what it is. People always gonna pick
even
on me
if,
about something.
let's say that Corio, that was her natural voice, even if it was, what would it matter?
That's what I'm saying. There's people on here, there's women on here got really, really husky, voices, people with high pitched voices, and some people irritated with the people with high pitched voices. People's always going to find something to talk about. The way you look, the way you sound, whatever.
Yeah, I wanted to clear that up because I didn't want nobody putting that big C on her. Because here's the thing. Yes, Corio has spoke about that multitudes of times. I mean, I've heard her say it at least 5, 10 times, if not more. In my opinion, Miss Corio, my beauty, oops, she gonna whoop me for saying miss. I'm gonna get in trouble, y'all. I'm gonna get in trouble.
At least you didn't say Mrs. You said Miss this time.
I know, right? She gonna get me. That if people don't hear this and they ain't heard it and they keep talking, just let them talk because they ain't never gonna listen. Because it done been said 50, 111 times that the reason why you have your throat is because they accidentally nicked it during a surgery, your vocal box.
Girl, that's just like if somebody heard that I was a cake decorator. What, she decorate cakes for real? Like I done showed my cakes 1,000,001 times. I talk about it all the time. I got a whole cake channel, IG, Facebook, everything, and I still hear that sometimes. What, you bake cakes? Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm.
And I'll be
So
up there. Mm-hmm.
I just relate that to we all can't see everything.
and
We
everything.
can't see everything. We can't hear anything. It's only 24 hours in a day. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But
I
that's all I got home, girl. I'm about to get my butt off of here so I can get back to work.
I hope you have a good rest of your work day.
Yes, I'm sitting over here. I was just talking to Corey. I was like, I'm sitting over here waiting on my Home Depot package for my new Ninja because my Ninja, after 20 years, it finally died.
Let's say a prayer for the ninja
Please
that
say a
passed.
prayer.
Dear Lord, dear Heavenly God, we are so heartbroken that the ninja, the blender, it went to heaven. And if you could just make sure that for all the years it gave her, those 20 years of service, that dear Lord, that it has fun in heaven, and pray that the new one works as good as the old one, because that old one it was the OG. It was the OG, and we
The
got to say
triple OG, Lord. The triple OG.
triple OG, Lord. Please, Lord, make sure that it does well. And in your name we pray. Amen.
Girl, I'm so serious about my blenders and my KitchenAids and the other day I was trying to make a smoothie for me and my son for breakfast, right? And I had, how you put all your stuff in there, your bananas, your yogurt, this, that, your kale, strawberries, blueberries. I had all kind of shit in there, right? And that thing was like,
He was
I
over
know
there
you
crying.
lied. I tried for like 30 minutes to get that thing to working. And I was like, I told my son, I said, well, I guess we got to cook breakfast or something. And then he was like, well, that's okay. I'll eat cereal. I said, I'll just make me a sandwich. I was so mad that it was broke. And I took everything I put in there, poured it into a baggie and threw it in the freezer. I said, I'd be damned if I throw all this shit in the trash because the blender broke. So as soon as my shit get here, that's the first thing I'm going to try. But I definitely need that for my cakes, because busy season is coming up for Christmas. And I was for instance, for like my carrot cakes, I need it for my carrots, for my peanuts, my walnuts, my Oreo cookie cakes for my cookies, my banana pudding cakes for my banana pudding wafers. So I need that. That is an integral part of my baking, career, along other things that I use it for. But yeah, if ain't nobody ever had a Ninja, I'm trying to told you, it lasted at least 20 years, probably like 22 or 23. But they say lifetime warranty. That thing has been running strong. And I'm talking like year after year after year, busy season, cake seasons, all that kind of stuff. They some tough ass piece of equipment. So
He
yes.
went through a lot, y'all. Well, before he went to heaven, he went through a lot, child. He was working hard for the money. He did a lot of labor, and
Mhm.
he just it was finally quitting time.
Yep. And I ordered the same exact one from Home Depot. When I first bought it years ago, when the Ninja first came out, them joints was like $300, remember?
Oh yeah,
And you could only buy them on TV on those network channels, remember?
the
Oh
as
no,
seen on
order your
TV.
Ninja. Yeah, as seen on TV. Yep. So now that same set at Home Depot is only $50. I was like, hey, but I got my $300 worth after 20 years. So hey. Anyway, I will holler at you later. I love you, sweetheart. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody who has been supporting Charlie in her morning show. We love you. We love your show. And I'm going to get back to work, and I'll holler at you later, okay?
Love you.
All right, love you
Thank you
too.
for coming up.
All right, baby.
Okay, so I want to say love you to the choreo and the hood table. They know they always got my heart. Hey, Mama Global. They always got my heart. They know that. But yeah, we're gonna pray for the ninja blender that now is in heaven. He's up there with the refrigerators that didn't make it this year. And he's up there with the microwave that went out last season. And so we gonna say a little, a little prayer for that ninja blender, baby. He did all that hard work for 20 plus years, and he finally went on to the great glory in the sky. He's up there with all of them. The appliance heaven. He's in appliance heaven, y'all. Let's do our hands back and forth for the appliance heaven, y'all. Light the lighters. But yeah, so I'm glad you got a new one. I hope it works as good as the old one. See, that's the only thing sometimes I hate about getting new stuff is it don't work as good as the old stuff, and you be so upset. So I'm gonna pray. We're gonna say a little prayer that it works as good as the old one and it lasts you another 20 years. Cause the Ninja Blender, rest in peace. You know, we had to tell him to rest easy. He did all them years. Yeah, he went to appliance heaven, y'all. He went to appliance heaven. With all the old white refrigerators. You know, some people still got some working. But you know, they be talking about the white fridges, but them fridges be working real good, y'all. I don't know why they hating on them. Okay, don't be hating on them. Them refrigerators be working, y'all. Okay, sorry, I had to do a little something for comedic value. Y'all know me. But I will say that Rodney, I do believe there are some people that I said this in the first part of live. Corio did not know that was you. The hood table didn't even know that was you. I had to tell them myself that it was you. And the only reason I knew it was you is because I watched Lemon. And then recently you've been hitting Paso with the Pinocchio page. A lot of people didn't know it was you. There's probably some people that are just now learning it's you. That's why the channel, you're growing or whatnot, but people didn't know. So you got to take that into account, right? Now, I don't know what's going to happen between you and Lemon. That's, you know, we're going to have to see how this story unfold. But, you know, we are praying for the appliances that didn't make it today. So for the rest of your day, thank your appliances that are still working, right? And the ones that have given you years upon years upon years of heavy duty work. Thank them today. Thank your washing machine. Thank your dryer. Thank your refrigerator, your microwave. You know, if you got a spatula maker, thank that one. And it's been 20 years. Your blender. You know, just let's say a thanks to all our good appliances that make life so much more easier. And I hope y'all have a blast. It's hard out here for the appliances today. The coffee maker. Oh, I love my coffee maker. Them little cheap $10 ones from Walmart. They're so good, child. Oh, if it wasn't for the coffee maker. Okay. It's hard out here for appliances when they trying to make you money for the rent. When the energy bill is spent, you know it's hard out here for appliances. Okay. I had to make up a song for the appliances, y'all. You know that electric bill be paid and they be working right. Okay. So shout out to the appliances today. Dear Lord, thank you for all my appliances. Okay. I had to do it. I had to do it. Get y'all a little laugh before we jump up out of here today. Now, we were supposed to talk about, Jesus, he wept over them appliances, y'all. You know, Jesus didn't have them appliances back then. He had to do it the hard way, y'all. He had to do it the hard way. He didn't have the bread maker. He didn't have the dough maker. He had to make it by hand, y'all. But you know, Jesus, he can make stuff just appear out of thin air because he was omniscient. He was awesome. But back then, you know, they didn't have all that. So thank you to the bread makers and the wine, the things that keep the wine good. You know, they had to have like the underground things back then. You know, so now we got all this stuff that open the wine bottle for you. You ain't even got to do the cork so hard. You just put it down there. They got electric ones and everything, child. You know, it'll mix all of it for you. All of it. Okay. Okay, sorry. I had to have my moment with the, you know, we need to have a funeral, the hood table, and we need to pass him on to glory for the ninja blender, y'all. He went through a lot. We need to do some singings, you know. He was singing, "Take me to the king. I don't have much to bring." He was singing it, child. He was singing it. He was singing, and he was, you know, he was saying, you know, he was singing "Amazing Grace." How sweet the sound, baby. And you know, he just did so much. We need to have a funeral, y'all. So the hood table, let me know when that funeral is there. I'll be in front center. I'm gonna have my little tissue, and because I'm gonna cry for him because he worked so hard. He was such a good blender. Okay. Oh, I love those electronic can openers, Corey. I need to get me another one. I have a hand do it right now, and I'm, you know, Mama Global, you know Jesus gonna get me. That's my homie from and he gonna get me later. But me and him gonna have a conversation, and I'm gonna have to apologize for my sins today. And he gonna have to he gonna get me. We're gonna have a conversation though later, cause I got to apologize. I got to apologize, y'all. Mm. Dear Heavenly God, I'm so sorry for my crazy mess, and turn your head away while I do it. Okay. Uh y'all have a blessed day. I've been on here 3 hours. I got to go take care of some stuff like always. Now I will say I just realized that not this well, it's a couple Fridays from now, but on the first, that's usually the day I don't do a long live because I got to go pay bills. Them bills always come every month. They don't never play. They want their money. And then I go broke. Yeah, we should have a funeral at the end of the week. The hood tab, whenever you feel like it, just let me know when the funeral is for the Ninja Blender, cause I feel so upset that him passed away. And y'all have a good day. I'm gonna go cry for all the appliances that we lost this year. Maybe somebody else in the crowd has lost their dryer. We don't know. But y'all have y'all blessed, beautiful day. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Let me go see who is live right now. Let me go look right quick and see who's live so we can tell. I always do that at the end of the live. Okay, we got the Good Putty Cat. We got Yollywood News, which is Diva Tomboyish, Law and Crime TV. It's With It TV. That's who is showing me who's live right now. If I missed anybody, it's because YouTube be tripping. Sometimes, they don't give you the notifications. Some people might want to go back and rewatch Lemons. And I'm going to go ahead and share Lemons live from this morning. So if people just want to click over there and I think it's about halfway through. I'm gonna give y'all a timestamp right quick. Hold on, I'm gonna go see if I can skip through it and tell y'all exactly when to start, so I can see, because you can see when you click over when it starts. Let me see. Now, Just Krista pops up about the, let's see what hour mark this, 4 hour and 50-minute mark. And then that goes on for a little while. Then he starts talking about the stuff with Rodney somewhere around the 6 hour and 30-minute mark. So I would say start from the 4 hour 50 mark. You might have to skip over a little bit to the 6 hour mark. I think, was it 6 hour mark? Let me see what mark that was. Yeah, the 6 hour 30-minute mark, somewhere around in that area. 35-minute mark is when he starts talking about Rodney. So those are some timestamps right now for y'all. So 4:50 and 6:30 mark. That's the minute marks. Okay. So, and also today, could y'all please check on y'all's appliances? Like Unwind Miss said, make sure they okay. If they need a support group, let me know. We can get together the appliances to support group because they might need help, child. I haven't celebrated yet the hood table because I got to get a few more watch hours before I can get my membership. So I'm trying to see when that opens up. It's all my fault. I'm wild messy. So I'm trying to figure out. I done talked to them. They said I need more watch hours. That ain't my music. Videos don't count for memberships, but it counts for everything else. But it don't count for memberships. Anyway, so yeah, I ain't did that yet. I am gonna have it as soon as I could get my memberships open because I don't want to have, a big celebration for monetization and not have everything open where if people wanted to become members, I want to celebrate when people become members. That way I can celebrate the members. You know what I'm saying? And everything. So that's, I'm waiting on that. But I'm halfway there, y'all. Living on a prayer. But y'all have a good day. I will see y'all then. But yes, remember the 4 hour and 50-minute mark is when Just Krista pops up on Lemons, and the 4 hour and 30, I think it's 30, or the 6 hour and 30-minute mark is when they start talking about Rodney. Okay, so I'm just trying to get y'all the minute marks. And y'all have a good day. I will see y'all on these streets. Bye, y'all.
I'm from the T-U-B-E-L-O. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show. From the T-U-B-E-L-O. I'm reppin' my hood till the day that I go. From the T-U-B-E-L-O. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show. From the T-U-B-E-L-O. I'm ripping my hood till the day that I go.
I'm from the west side, we don't need no introduction, this was the best ride. We all big boy rolling and holding, come take a test drive. Hilldale, Evergreen, Glenkirk, Adder Street.